It don't matter the color of the skin, either woman or man. Just let the case land, seal distance, save fans. This shit work, not a fake plan. Too many kids being found in these lakes.
This channel may feature copyrighted video and audio content under the guidelines of fair use permitted by copyright statute for purposes such as criticism, comment, news reporting, teaching, scholarship, and research. All content and credit go to the original creators. No copyright infringement is intended.
Shout out to everybody in the building.
Just so you know, we don't go for those that's taking these souls. We know, but it's getting so out of control. Thank you for tuning in to MTGV, True Crime TV. Y'all know what it is, man. Team Vibe, Miss V. Hey, make sure you hit that like button. Make sure you subscribe.
Please
make sure
do.
You leave a comment too. Yeah.
Please smack that thumbs up as you come in. How is everybody doing out there today? We got a few things to go over. So one thing that I was looking at is this case a criminal investigation or not? And I really don't believe that it is, even though some people are saying that based off of what the DA said, I believe. But I don't think it is being investigated as a criminal case because of the way that they're moving. It just don't strike me as a criminal investigation. Nobody has been arrested. The interviews that they had, I heard them saying that they were over the phone. They got a couple calls, even in the text messages that was just released. He said that yeah, he had an interview with them over the phone, and they had dates to go down and talk to the police. That's not how a criminal investigation operates. And so the newest information is the DA and what she had to say. Shout out to Sugar Mama in the building. Shout out to Gretchen in the building. And shout out to everybody in the bushes and everybody on the replay. Please be sure to smack that thumbs up. Subscribe to the channel if you have not. And if you're on the replay, please hype it up. And if you're here, you can hype it up too. But I think you'll just have to unlike it and like it again. And that's when the like button will pop up. Well, hopefully getting the phone info will move things forward. Yes, I mean, and I hope they do what they pretty much agreed to, that they would do this jointly, because I definitely understand why the family feel the way that they do. I mean, are you just supposed to trust them after what they came out and said in the beginning, and the way that they're moving, and the fact that everybody is kind of high up there? You know, they rich, you know, they rich. These are rich kids that we talking about that appear to be protected. I mean, because under any other circumstances, if it would have been anybody else, they would be arrested. That Cito video is very telling. And before Janetta Brantley, before she enhanced the audio, we could hear it. And then when we heard the music over it, you could still hear it. Maybe not every single word that she had typed out in that transcript, but it is just blowing me away just how they are just so dismissive of it. Anybody that's in support of these guys, that don't even exist. Oh, that's fake, that's phony, that's false. And the way that their lawyers are talking, you can tell that, you know, they ain't worried. Even, you know, when everybody came out, I felt like the fix was in when everybody started speaking out. You know, once the ex-friends came out and did the interview, he broke it up so much to where people think they did multiple interviews, but it was only 2 interviews that Tatum broke up into many parts. And right after that, then I'm hearing that they have been instructed not to talk no more. I mean, they didn't say it enough. Don't you think? It's been a lot said. I mean, a lot of it is confusing when you listen at them, especially Warren. To me, he talks very, very confusing. in efforts that you don't understand what he's saying, so he can switch it. I think he might have a little narcissism going on. You know, this is allegedly, this is my opinion. I think the tow car is the story. These new letters that just came out, I feel like they are trying to blame or set the wrong boys up. Now, I don't even believe those letters at all. And I heard people talking about it, but I haven't looked at it myself. But that's the killer part about this is things are trickling out. And this is like no case I've ever seen. Just everything that's happening with this case is a lot odd about it. And clearly people are messing with the pictures, messing with the videos, and it's making some people doubt what's real and what's fake. Okay, because as soon as, you know, Ben Crump and crew, they start making a lot of traction, his parents, and showing up on different TV shows and stuff like that. And after his funeral and all of that, a lot of things just got thrown. A lot of people jumped in because there's a lot of people that don't want them to go down. It's a lot of people protecting this. This seems very criminal to me, and I can't change that just because of threats of being sued or whatever, because this is my opinion and I'm entitled to have my opinion. This is a bunch of BS and it don't look right. Not at all. Trust none of them. And you shouldn't. Okay, so let's talk about the most updated stuff here. It says the biggest development is the DA speaking out. And so Jackson County District Attorney Angel Myers issued a new statement yesterday, August 18th, responding to the criticism about the lack of information being released. Now, according to Carlos Moore, that the judge that was pretty much banned from Mississippi, he said that she could call for the arrest herself. It don't need to be presented to the grand jury. Not only that, the grand jury process is private, so you don't know what they're giving them to even look at. It's almost like with the Carmelo Anthony case. As you see, he has a new lawyer. The Roach guy, he's recused or whatever, and so he won't be working on the case. But the transcripts came out, and I heard a little bit of that. And those transcripts was just ridiculous what they were saying, that it was totally false. I mean, they just lied on him in court and railroaded him. And so we don't know what they saying, what evidence are they presenting to him, because it's not a criminal investigation. That period, point blank. Okay, so let me finish this. So it says the DA speaks out or whatever. And so she's speaking out about the criticism. She says she cannot publicly disclose information from the ongoing investigation, even though private attorneys and others can discuss information publicly. And I mean, they definitely have been. They was on Nancy Grace, and I even think Nancy Grace deleted some videos. I heard that she deleted Janetta Brantley's interview because people was giving her crap about it. I don't know. I think I don't know if she's at risk of being sued or whatever, because they are making a big deal about the transcripts. But Janetta Brantley didn't release the footage. She didn't release the video. She just enhanced it so you could hear. And they want us to don't believe your lying ears, okay? That makes no sense to me. Okay, so she says she can't disclose anything publicly, even though private attorneys and others can discuss information publicly. She's saying that because she know they have been. She specifically pushed back against pressure to say more, stating that Nolan deserves better than prosecutors releasing information simply to satisfy the public. Well, just do the regular keeping the public informed. They're not even doing that. Have you seen a press conference? Have you seen them coming out? And I think I heard somewhere that Mississippi never does press conferences. I think I ran across something, and I didn't really tune into it. You know how you scrolling and you just hear something. So I heard that. I don't know how true that is, but they definitely not. And that's how, you know, how different people, law enforcement, should act when you got a lot of public attention on something, national attention, and they don't give a damn from the actions that I'm looking at. Just the way that the investigation is going, period. They're not being criminally looked at all. They're not. So she says, let's see. So more importantly, she made a firm commitment. The evidence collected in Nolan Wells' case will be presented to the Jackson County Grand Jury once the investigation is completed. That presentation will include the complete Mississippi State autopsy report and the other evidence gathered by investigators. The grand jury will ultimately determine whether the evidence indicates that a crime occurred. Well, I can tell you it's a lot of lies occurring. I mean, and so what is anybody lying for? It's a lot of conflicting statements. It's a lot of weird actions happening. Just looking at the body language in the videos and stuff that the interviews we've been watching, but the actions and how they moved that day, you know, the fact that they, you know, from what I'm hearing, the mother wasn't told by Warren that they had the phone until after she said that she was tracking it. Then he says, oh, we have his phone. And it's just a lot with that. Let me finish this. So one of the important distinctions, the grand jury presentation does not mean prosecutors have concluded a crime occurred. The DA has said presenting unnatural or suspicious death to a grand jury is standard practice in the county. Presenting unnatural or suspicious deaths to the grand jury is standard practice. Anyway, just how they move, and we know that I don't think they've gathered anything criminal. I think they've gathered something to line up with a drowning. You see what I'm saying? Like, but just like they say, oh, they couldn't have did this out in the open and everybody would have seen it, then we're saying the same thing. Nolan couldn't have drowned with all these damn people out here and nobody see anything. So that brings me to the video that I wanted to play. Anyone can make that. Ask any dude who does music. Can make what? Oh, that's another thing. The GPS and all that stuff, that can be altered. That can be turned off. It could, I know that they claim that they have some electrical issues and all of that. That could cause the GPS to not work also. You can opt out to have it turned off. I mean, so what are we looking at here? That's why I think a lot of things don't make sense for some of the people that's digging way, way deep. But let me play this video. These are the attorneys on Nancy Grace.
How did you get involved in this case?
Well, I'd rather not talk about that. I can just tell you this. I can tell you that it was through a friend of a friend.
You're kidding, right? You're kidding me. Because when you tell me, I'd rather not answer.
Well, I want to protect the names.
Igniting me to find out how you got involved in the case.
Well, hold on. I can tell you a little bit more. I can tell you this. I can tell you a close friend who knows the Ocean Springs, Mississippi community very, very well, is from the area, connected me to a friend of his. And then I found myself speaking to Tyler here. And Tyler and I instantly became very close friends. We both have blue pickup trucks, so now we're the Blues Brothers. We just became very close. We hit it off. Then I had the opportunity to speak to Warren, speak to Morgan, speak to Jax, and we hit it off also. And I immediately realized these are incredibly fine young men. Well, I can tell you this: they were off Horn Island at 4:30 p.m. on July 4th, and Nolan Wells was seen alive.
Now we're getting somewhere. How can you prove that to me other than them telling you? I assume you've got GPS tracking and the call to CTO?
We have witnesses, among other things, but I can also tell you this. They were off the island at 4:30 p.m., and Nolan Wells was seen alive by multiple people at 6 p.m., still on the island. And I'm sure Tyler would be happy.
Now that's BS, as far as 6 o'clock, because that's newer information too. And I'm not so sure about the GPS because of what I just said. But, people are going to make that information gospel according to even how Nancy Grace responded to him talking about the GPS.
Very close friends. We both here, and is from the area, connected me to a friend of his. And then I found myself speaking to Tyler here. And Tyler and I instantly became very close friends. We both have blue pickup trucks, so now we're the Blues Brothers. We just became very close. We hit it off. Then I had the opportunity.
Oh, he literally just met the guy and saying that, they really good friends already. They just hit it off. Like, it don't take much to be a friend nowadays, and people use the word friend way too lightly.
To speak to Warren, speak to Morgan, speak to Jax, and we hit it off also. And I immediately realized these are incredibly fine young men. I can tell you this: they were off that.
That definitely reminded me of Donald Trump.
Off Horn Island at 4:30 p.m. on July 4th, and Nolan Wells was seen alive.
Now we're getting somewhere. How can you prove that to me other than them telling you? I assume you've got GPS tracking and the call to CETA?
We have witnesses among other things, but I can also tell you this: they were off the island at 4:30 p.m. and Nolan Wells was seen alive by multiple people at 6 p.m.
All right, so yeah, I don't believe the people that seen him. Number one, it's funny because the people who seen him allegedly, they know him, right? So if they know him, likely they know the people he was with. They were together, and they had time to come up with this, just like the ex-friends. I mean, they had plenty of time to come up with a story. They were together. They went out the next day searching for Nolan. They claimed they got a call right after that, but they didn't have to go down. They had appointments to go down. That's not how you investigate something criminally. So they're not looking for criminal stuff. And you will hear this when the lawyers start talking, the other one.
Yeah, I'm still on the island. And I'm sure Tyler would be happy to elaborate on that. But this is a no doubt 100%.
Please tell me, Tyler.
Yes.
Because I don't believe any of these people, and I don't disbelieve any of these people. I want to hear about witnesses that spotted him alive after 4:30, because I believe I can confirm the boat left around 4:30. And I'm referring to the Triton. That's the boat they were on. There are a lot of boats. Let's see the video of all the boats out there. So when I say Triton, I'm talking about the boat Nolan was on the way to the island. There's a lot of boats out there and a lot of witnesses too. This is from the Officer Tatum. Okay. There are witnesses placing him there at 6. And I want to be very clear, gentlemen, that I'm not convinced he drowned just because somebody said so. Even if he did drown, that does not mean that there wasn't foul play. Why is that mark on the back of his head? Was he hit on the head and fell in the water? Was he held under the water? Was it an accident? I don't know. But I am very interested in witnesses that place him alive at 6 p.m. Please tell me, Tyler Cox.
So, Nancy, look, we have had multiple witnesses reach out to us, 2 confirmed witnesses that saw Nolan Wells on the island around 6 p.m. on July 4th.
Now, one of the things I would like to know is when did these witnesses come forward? How soon did they come forward? Was it last week? Because we over a month in, and today is Nolan's birthday too. Happy heavenly birthday. This is his first heavenly birthday, and it's so sad. Check out my shorts. I definitely did a short, but and I do shorts multiple a day. So y'all tap into that. I'm gonna pull it up though, so y'all could see some of them that I've done recently, because it's been a lot going on. Like Nolan's mom, best friend, Shima Hand, she came out. It's a lot going on. Let this keep going.
After the Triton, as you said, left around 4:30. And so those witnesses have went to investigators, they've talked to the police, and they've done what they're supposed to do. We've cooperated 100%. So
where did they see him, Tyler Cox? Where did the witnesses see them? Do they know him well enough to make a positive idea? Did your witnesses know Nolan? Can they identify him? Because
and I just, so the fact that they put this picture up, I wonder if this is the sighting that they seen Nolan, because that person in the blue shorts is a female. I see a white bikini top. and this is in hand, so therefore is, is messed with, because I just don't believe it. So they thinking that was Nolan. And this was a part of the 22-page thing that United Cajun Navy came up with. I'm not sure if this is the 6 o'clock sighting or not, but make it make sense. Really. You see this white bikini top, and you see blue shorts. I don't know if it's a man or a woman. The person, they covered the faces because this one right here, I've seen like 3 heads connected with an extra nose, because I've talked about this. So that would be why they were this. Yeah, this is not Nolan. I ain't buying it.
I'm looking right at this, and I cannot identify if the male behind the female on the white, the female wearing a white hat, I can't tell if that's Nolan or not. It's a very blurry photo. I can't make it out. So, do your witnesses?
Now, she noticed the white hat, which I could see it, but I didn't notice it. I noticed that white bikini top, though, and she didn't.
Know him? To get in or attack an eyewitness, and it's in the code, the official code of Mississippi annotated. There are prescribed methods under which you cross-examine an eyewitness. For instance, does the witness know the target? Was the lighting sufficient? How far away was the witness? What were the conditions of the eyewitness identification? Was the eyewitness inebriated or high or otherwise incapacitated? How far away were they? Do they wear glasses? It goes on and on and on. It's laid out in the code.
Listen, and it was a big party out there on the water. Anything went that day. They could kick it, underage drinking, all that. So I'm sure they was drinking. Even Anna C. Moore said that she was lit, pretty much is what she said. And so that's what people go out there for. So I don't know what they seen, or or when they seen it. When did they decide they seen him?
Tell me about these witnesses. How do they know it was Nolan? Hey, control room, show me that picture of Nolan on the boat. He's bent over. All I can see are his legs and his behind. The only reason I think that's Nolan because it matches his swimsuit. Did they see that? How can they identify Nolan? First to you, Tyler.
Well, I'm not sure if the witnesses saw that picture that you just put on screen, but I can confirm to you that these witnesses know Nolan. They've known him for a long time. They were able to make a positive ID, and they told that to investigators. They told them that from the very start.
So from the very start, he said, they know Nolan. How well do they know Nolan, sir? Yeah, I don't believe it.
Had they been drinking?
That I do not know.
How are they sure?
He said no. Now, I believe that they got 2 witnesses, but I just don't believe that they seen Nolan. So
it was 6 o'clock. Look, I'm not saying you're wrong. I'm asking the questions I would ask in court. How do they know it's 6 o'clock? Did they go, oh, there's Nolan Wells at 6 p.m.?
Well, I'm pretty sure, Nancy, they were aware of the time.
How?
I'm not sure if they were drinking or not, but they're the ones that came forward to police and investigators, and that's their story to tell. What I'm telling you is they made a positive ID on Nolan Wells around 6 o'clock, and they told that to investigators, all while our clients were off the island around 4:30.
See, and that's the kind of information that's going to be presented to the grand jury. You know what I'm saying? Like, we just now hearing about this, but that is the information that will be submitted. They're not looking for a criminal. They're not looking to arrest anybody. They going far away from that. Ronnie's welcome in. Oh, Ronnie said they can't stand Nancy. I didn't like how she covered the Carmelo Anthony case. I didn't. I mean, she had the father on there and all that, and you could just tell. And even how she shut Sam down and stuff when he was talking about the injustices and all of that. She ain't trying to hear that. She ain't trying to hear it. So sorry though, Tito Boat Auto. They are mad at her just for speaking up. We all heard it. Oh yeah, exactly. That's ridiculous. Don't believe your lying eyes or ears. You know what I'm saying? Like everybody, even the ex-friends got on there acting like it wasn't real. I mean, how can you even come? That's crazy. Delusion. The delusion of this case is just crazy to me. Anyone could make that. Ask any dude who does music. Okay, she's not saying anything that matters, and anything they put out, I would assume is fake. Exactly. Exactly. I think that's why they got a witness, because it's being presented to the grand jury. She says too much, must be where Warren gets it from. Yep, it's a lot of talking. Yes, happy birthday, Nolan. So sad, man. I have covered many cases where a person passed and right after that is their birthday. It happened so much.
So we have positive identification on Nolan on the island an hour and a half after our clients left. So as you know from your experience as a prosecutor, they can't do two things at once. They can't be on the island at 6 o'clock and be on the boat going off the island at 4:30. So that's where we are. Our clients have nothing to do with the death of Nolan Wells. We don't know how he died. We want to know. Please tell us. Somebody. We want to know just
the Cito video is telling you
much as anyone else. Our clients loved Nolan Wells. They were brothers to Nolan Wells. I've still yet to hear one bad thing about Nolan Wells. He was a good Ocean Springs kid, just as Chuck.
We ain't looking for nothing bad to hear about him. I mean, this right here though, the way that everybody is acting, I mean, it deserved a real investigation. I mean, the dog should have been out there right away to check and all of that. But for what, says these people? What are we investigating for? It's nothing to see here. Like, what? I don't even believe Nolan was drunk. I really don't. I believe he was drinking just like everybody else, but I don't believe that he was lit, because I just don't. And then his coach even backed that up. And I'm not sure which coach, because I'm hearing that a coach took the father, the parents out there to search for him. Then when Warren them was out there, it was that same coach was out there. They said they met him out there. And yeah, so I'm thinking that's the same coach. But I also think about what the father said, how they went, they looked around, they didn't see anything. And then all of a sudden, bam, there he is. And even the guy, Brian Trasher, said that his body didn't look like it normally would if somebody's been under those conditions, or however he worded it. But that's what he said. And then he took the picture. That was the oddest thing to me. He took the picture. Nancy Grace talked about it on her show, and the family ain't seen it, but they did ask. They called us bluff. He was like, if they want to see it, they can ask me for it. Like, so that's just weird. And the first thing that I thought about is trophy. You know what I mean? Like, what would you want that in your phone for? It makes me look sideways big time. That's my opinion.
Bordy says all the time in the courtroom, these are good Ocean Springs people. So Nolan was a good Ocean Springs person too. They love Nolan. We want to know. Will someone please?
For the people listening in, y'all, please smack that thumbs up. Smack that thumbs up.
Right there, Tyler. Tyler, I've got 1 hour. And nobody's running for miscongeniality. Let's just let it be noted, judicial notice. They were all good. Everybody's good. Okay. Tyler,
yes.
The witnesses that came forward. Here's something that would tend to corroborate them, is if multiple witnesses said the same thing. Witnesses separated in time and space. Witnesses that are not all friends. Okay. Witnesses that are not good friends with your clients, that may have a reason to be fuzzy on the time. I'm not saying they are, or that they're not. Here's my question to you. Are these witnesses friends of your clients?
I don't think they're friends, and they're not even the same age.
Okay. Next question.
Okay, he said they're not friends. They're not even the same age, but he didn't say that they didn't know them. Did y'all catch that? He did not say that they didn't know them. They just a different age.
Your clients.
I don't think they're friends, and they're not even the same age.
Okay. Next.
Oh, yeah, they could very well know them, and I suspect that they do.
Question. How many witnesses place him there on the island at 6-ish?
At least 2 that I know.
So 2 out of the thousands of people, the 1,000 people, or the first number we heard was 200 to 300 when we first started hearing about it. Then when Warren got to talking, he said it was 1,000 people out there. So out of all them 1,000 people, only 2 people saw Nolan after 6. I ain't buying it. One big reason why I'm not buying it is because when the number one is too many things happening at the same time at 4 o'clock, right? It's too much chaos going on, which to me, that means some things are being covered up. Warren had to go get his brother because he was into it. Then Javon had to go break up a fight because Tristan was into it. Then when Warren comes back to the boat, is taking in water. All this stuff happened at the same time. Then listening at their interview, I hear Tatum asked Morgan, he was like, so you was already gone when all of this stuff started happening. You left 5 minutes before, right? Wait, what? And he left with it was 3 of them that left. So who are the 3 people that left right before everything started happening? And he left on the Palm Beach. What's up with that? Because they not tracking that one, right? Did they track all those boats? And where did that boat go? The Palm Beach that left 5 minutes before. Nolan could have been there. You see what I'm saying? Something could have jumped off. They jetted out of there. I'm just saying, that's my opinion. Because when I heard that, I'm like, wait, what? Really? I didn't know that. So when they were handling this, taking in water, it was only 2 of them left. 2 boats left. One was being pulled by Fart, since, being pulled by him. And then the other one was the Trident, right? And some people say it was 4 boats out there, but yeah, make sense. So I'm looking at that like, I think we looking at the wrong thing. Well, we looking at all of them. Everybody is suspect. I am justice for Nolan and the truth.
2. Do the witnesses know each other?
Yes.
Were they together that day?
Yes.
Have they had a chance to discuss their recollections with each other before they came to police?
Well, I'm sure they did. Nancy, look, they did what they were supposed to do, and they spoke to police officers.
When, I wonder, was it right away, or was they investigating, looking for more people that could say this? Shout out to Life with Tasharia. Welcome in, fam. Y'all, please smack the thumbs up. Get the thumbs up, y'all. It's very, very important. Whatever stream you listening in on, please hit the like button. That's all I ask. I do have a goal set up, and if we reach that goal, I'll go back live tomorrow. But y'all, please smack that thumbs up and share this out.
And you know as well as I do that if investigators or a DA's office had any sort of probable cause to make an arrest in a case like this, they would have.
You stated a young lady, and I assume this is Katie, the mysterious Katie, who turns out not to be that mysterious at all.
So I'm just saying, like he said, they would have made an arrest if they could have, or if they had anything. So the Cito video is just it just don't exist. We didn't hear anything in that. Oh, Janetta Brantley is her fault. Oh, she need to be criminally charged. They just totally just right over everybody's head. Nothing to see here.
Much was made of that. Now, one thing about Katie, originally, one or some of your clients said he was with some girl, we don't know her. Then it turned out they had been texting with her. So they did know her.
Exactly.
There may be an innocent explanation for that or not. So explain to me, who were they talking about when they said he was with a girl, we don't know her? He had never met her before, but yet they were texting with Katie, the girl he had been with. I'll throw that to you, Tyler. Do you know the answer to that?
An unknown female. I mean, that's on the police report. And they told them that that they left at 3. That's on the dispatch audio. So inconsistencies is a reason to make an arrest. That means it's something more need to be talked about, need to be interrogated, find out what's going on, make it make sense.
Sure. So they didn't know Katie, and they believe that Nolan didn't know Katie before that day. But you have to remember, once they started getting suspicious that Nolan wasn't with them anymore, they start asking themselves, okay, well, where's Nolan? They start texting everyone that they knew. Hey, have you seen Nolan? Do you know where Nolan is? Did he make it back home? All before they called Christine Wells that night, they start asking everybody. And so eventually they end up getting, through mutual friends, whoever, Katie's number. And so I believe it was maybe either Snapchat or text message. They got in communication with Katie. And Katie says, I don't know. We thought he was leaving with y'all. Well, I don't believe that's the case, obviously, because he did not leave with our boys. We don't know what happened to him, but that's Katie's statement. That's how they got a hold of Katie's numbers, because they're frantically trying to find out what happened to Nolan.
I heard Warren say that that his buddy Katie text his buddy, and then weirdly he was like, yeah, and she said something, yeah, something he said, and then oddly he was like, yeah, and she said he was sweet. Wait a minute, how's Katie texting your buddy and y'all don't know Katie? That don't make sense. And then we heard Jax mention something about somebody dating they old girlfriends or whatever, and people suspected that's what it was. It was actually said. People, they're saying that it's a lie, that Fart knew Katie, right? And that they used to date. And then Jax get on an interview and bring that up, talking about somebody saying, well, even though, he talking to our ex-girlfriends or whatever, but I forgot who he was even talking about. But the fact that he said that and said the part about a body being in the boat when people have brought that up, you would think they would want to stay far away from anything that people are saying. But no, that just brings us right to it. And then the promos they got going on behind them is just crazy to me, man. This is a money grab, in my opinion.
What's your take on it, Ed? Because I think he's saying they did know Katie. I couldn't tell if he said did or didn't. Did he say they all did know Katie?
No, they did not.
And when he said didn't, it definitely sounded like he said did. And I'm happy she asked again, because I wasn't sure either.
They didn't know Katie. All right. And they determined who she was. Okay. Right. Hey, hold on. Tyler, you said your clients began to get suspicious. Whereas Nolan, when did they get suspicious?
It was later that night. I believe it was around 9 or 10 o'clock, maybe even 11, that they start saying, oh, was anyone seeing Nolan? Where's Nolan? Did he make it back home? Did anybody know?
Now, that's interesting that he says 9, right? He said they started getting suspicious around 9. But they didn't call the mother until 11, or Warren didn't call the mother until 11. So what was he doing? Guess who the person he did call at 9 something? That was Tristan. Because when Tristan did his interview, he said that his first call he got from Warren was 9:20. And then the next time he woke up, because he was asleep, it was around 11 when his brother came in his room and woke him up. So I'm going to pull up that too, because I did a short about it. Shout out to my BFF has entered the chats. How you doing, BFF? But yeah, it's a lot going on with this case, man. Shout out to the chat. She said, yes, please double tap the screen to get to that like button. Or you can hit the 3 dots upper right. And if you on the landscape, you can just hit the like button, the thumbs up. Remember that? So please support the channel with your thumbs up.
Start calling around, texting, asking everybody. And once they determined that no one had the answer about where Nolan was, that's when they called Christine Wells. And then they stayed on the phone. My client stayed on the phone with Christine Wells for about 5 or 6 minutes. And then he tells her, look, I'm going to call the Coast Guard just to make sure. And he did. He stayed on the phone with the Coast Guard for 21 minutes.
But why didn't they call, why did he call Javon for Christine number? I just wondered, and yeah, I got questions about Javon and when he got his phone, and if he questioned them about what did he know about Nolan? Did he know his phone was still there and all that? We gonna get into all that. But I'm just noticing that he called Javon. He called Javon, but Wyatt was there. And he has his number. You would think he could have possibly had Christine's number. So I just wonder if he asked anybody else before he called Javon, because another thing about that, I just noticed Warren kept bringing up Javon. Well, and then just really bringing it home that he was the only one that called Christine to let her know what was going on. And these are different, different clips of the interviews where he brought up Javon at least 3 or 4 times to where in one of those interviews, Javon got in the he got in the comments and was saying that I did not ride on that boat, and he did say that his phone was in the boat, but he didn't ride in that boat. And I have I did a short about that too. It's showing who he actually rode with. And from my understanding, he rode with some neighbors because they're a neighbor of Tashima was on another content creators panel, and he was talking about that because he literally seen them when they left and when they came back. And if I remember correctly, he said that they got back around 7 something. And he also said that he talked to Tashima, or at least he tried to try to give her some tips or whatever. And, if people start attacking her son, and she just kind of like dismissed them and was like, ain't no MF gonna mess with her kid or whatever. And just seeing her comments and her video, I'm kind of gathering the type of person that she is. And her and Christine seem like night and day, the way that they are, the way that they present themselves. Because I don't know either one of them or how they are not under pressure, but she ain't on it. She going off, cussing people out the gate. I mean, she going in. We gonna get to that.
Part of their friend group. That's right.
Okay, so when they say they didn't know her,
that characterization, they didn't say that. There's no contradiction. I can just tell you this: they didn't know her. Nolan was with her much of the day, and he was still on the island when they left.
I ain't buying it. And I think they did know her, which is why she texts their friend. You know what I'm saying? And I mean, I'm seeing her in a picture with Nolan. But it's a lot of things that's being altered too. But me personally, I believe that they knew her. And looking at the video, as I remember, she was according to what is her name? Jade Megan. She did a video and identified a lot of people that was on the boat and stuff. And she identified that Katie was on Fart's boat. Okay. She identified her because I don't know who she is. And it's hard for me to tell who some of these folks are. I mean, because all of the pictures that I'm seeing of Warren, he looked different on all of them. And then he looked different on the actual video and stuff. When he's talking, he done lost a lot of weight. Allegedly. I don't know. I guess they want us to think our eyes playing tricks on us.
He apparently spent much of the day with this young lady. That seems to be what happened.
And that's another thing. It was said that Nolan was spotted on the south side of the beach too. So with that being said, so he just walking around. He just walking around without his phone. What reason would he be walking around without his phone if he's not in the water? That's the part. Because if you think about what Warren said, right? Warren said that he talked to his mom. In the first interview, he said that he talked to his mom, right? The second interview, he ends up saying that I called my mom 8. My mom was on the south side of the beach, and I called her 8 times. What did you call her 8 times for, sir? When you're calling somebody, and I wonder what time was that? See, if they not criminally investigating something, then they're not gonna seize cell phones. I don't know if they did or not. I really don't. But would they seize the parents' phones too? I just don't know. If you're not looking to criminally investigate something and you're just looking to match a drowning, then no, they not doing all that. They want to know what happened, but they not looking for a criminal. Because I'm listening at these lawyers talk, and they know more than we do. Let them keep talking.
But no, there was this young lady was not part of their friend group. That's right.
Okay, so when they say they didn't know her, but yet they were texting her, they did know her name.
Well, I don't know if I agree with that characterization.
Huh?
Yeah, the
enlighten me. I want to know.
Flawed. Yeah, the premise is flawed. She's not part of their friend group. They don't know her. I can tell you that it does appear, once again, it appears.
Okay, now when you talking about she ain't French, they don't know her and she ain't in their friend group. Are you meaning they don't know her on a personal level? I heard that they all went to the same high school, right? I'm not sure if that's true or not, but that is what I heard. So I believe they know each other, or at least they know of each other. They not total strangers. I don't believe that for 1 minute. Now she might not be in a friend group, but that don't mean they don't know her.
That Nolan was with this young lady for much
know who she is
of the day. That does seem to be confirmed by.
You know why I believe they know her, or they know of her, or they know something about her? Because on these interviews, they admitted they had a damn problem with her. I mean, especially Tristan. Oh, I made a slick comment about the female he was with. Why would they make a comment at all if it was a female unknown to everybody? Please make that make sense. They knew her. They knew who she was. They know what type of female allegedly she is. Make it make sense. Okay, BFF? Get out of here. So he says that, and then Warren, he made his sound more gentle. Oh, you crazy. Nah, they both had a problem with Katie. And why did Morgan leave 5 minutes before everything happened? Wouldn't you think? See, and that's what makes that little tidbit right there is what makes me think everything else we hear is created after that. I mean, that's just how I feel. I don't believe all those things happen at 4 o'clock. It doesn't make sense. There's pictures of Katie with Javon, and so they know her. Oh, and you know what? Shout out to Mean Gems. I also with Javon and Bart. I haven't seen that. So she said, there's pictures of Katie with Javon and Bart, and so they did know her. Dang, I just lost my train of thought. It was something that I was about to say that make me think that they know her. I'm gonna let this keep playing, but I really do believe that they know her. It's another reason though. Oh, because Tristan is Facebook friends with her. They're friends. So you know her. You know of her. Like, I mean, I believe, right? So anyway, I know that you don't have to know everybody on your friends list, right? But in this case, and they in the same group, and she said to be on the same on boat, she had to get another ride. That tells me that she was with them or something. And then I had heard she was supposed to go to the party that day, right? She was supposed to go to the party. BFF said, I believe they all know each other, because especially if you go to Horn Island every year on the 4th. Exactly. You're going to get familiar. Like, they've been going to Horn Island all his life, Warren said. They pretty much grew up on a damn island. So please make it make sense. Has a great live stream starting at what? Delete that. Don't come in here promoting. What are we talking about? We on this live stream. What? Anyway, delete that comment, please, sir. It's all sleight of hand. Literally everything they say they didn't do, they did, and everything they said they did do, they didn't. Yeah, exactly. A bunch of lies, a bunch of confusion. Something ain't right. Something. Now that person that's talking about somebody else's live stream is on the vertical stream. Let me come and find you. Like, get out of here with that. What are we talking about? And then it's clear. Oh, I see him. Wait. You up out of here? What is you talking about? That's disrespectful. Period. Probably didn't even hit the damn like button in here promoting somebody else.
Many witnesses. And I can tell you this, Nancy, one thing about this island, I did have the opportunity to go to Horn Island. And when you go to the island, everything starts to make sense. The first picture was maybe not so accurate. If you go to the part of Horn Island where, these events all occurred, you see that there are really no trees on that part of the island. It's flat, it's open. There are no visual obstructions, so there's no trees, there's no shelter, there's no nothing, and it was broad daylight with thousands of people there.
Exactly.
Meaning there was no opportunity for foul play during daylight hours.
It was no opportunity for drowning. See how anything they say we can say? It was no opportunity for him to drown and nobody sees shit. But they want to don't believe. I mean, come on, who's stupid? Make it make sense.
That's where this whole thing starts to unravel.
Ed,
you have to go to the audience.
It unravels. What happened? Why didn't nobody see nothing? Because it seemed like to me that soon as all this chaos broke out, and if Morgan left 5 minutes before that, all we know is, yeah, it could have been the issue could have been in that boat. You see what I'm saying? He left 5 minutes before, allegedly. What it sounds like is he left right when they decided to come up with this plan. I mean, he left, and then they getting into the fights and all this stuff. Why did they leave before everybody else? 3 people. So that they left even before Warren came back claiming that the water was filled up. All of a sudden, he didn't say that it was filled up before he left. He said when he came back from breaking up and getting his brother and all that, that's when everything happened. No. That's when something happened to Nolan. That's my opinion.
Please, there's opportunity for foul play. He could have been walking on the head on the boat, pushed over.
I'm telling you, not in this environment.
Have to be. Not in this environment. So Nolan couldn't have drowned in this environment. Like, make it make sense, sir. If that can happen, then what? Come on.
On the beach, it could be anywhere.
You got to understand, it's a 10-mile long barrier island, but it's only a few hundred yards wide in most places. There's nowhere to hide.
Let me see the video.
And not one person. There's nowhere to hide. And nobody seen Nolan? Where was Nolan hiding at that nobody seen Nolan? Get out of here. Like, it just don't make sense. Mean Jim, he does. What? Oh, I think I know. Yeah, there's a and con artist. Make it make sense. Yep. That's all they want to do is just make it fit their narrative. In my opinion, this guy here gives slime ball. I agree. And that is my opinion. Like, and it's a small community and you have to be rich to have a boat and have those luxuries. And they all meet on an island where people that don't have those luxuries cannot go. Exactly. I mean, is houses lined up around there? Is all these rich folks with boats? They go every year. It's a community. We've heard them say all of this stuff. It's a tight-knit community. Old Tracing, you don't know who you messing with and all that, talking about Ben Crump.
Video and show it to Ed and Tyler. The video of all those boats. Anything could have happened between those boats. Exactly. Anything.
Well, but
even an accident could happen between those boats. And so many people are drunk. I don't think they're paying attention.
But here's the thing.
It could be anywhere.
You got to understand, it's a 10-mile long barrier island, but it's only a few hundred yards wide in most places. There's nowhere to hide.
Let me see the video and show it to Ed and Tyler. The video of all those boats. Anything could have happened between those boats. Anything.
Well, but
and what's happening there? You know what I'm saying? What is happening right behind Warren? That's what I want to know. Because that newer video that got released, I don't know. I don't know what it is, but it could be that video that got released was a real video. And I actually seen a guy that could have been Warren standing there. And when I looked a little bit closer, it was their boats right there. And then we see this going on behind him right now. So, I mean, something was going on. But the issue is that I'm trying to figure out is who were the people? Where was the fight that Traston was involved in? Because so far, I done seen 3 and I don't see them nowhere. Nobody in their group. Now, the one on the sand, I'm thinking was Warren's brother. But if it started in the water, which is what Traston basically said, because he said that his girlfriend ducked her head underwater and this guy said something to him. So they was in the water. And looking at this, you see a black and a white guy standing face to face. It's a guy with a white hat and a woman next to him that I suspect could be Tristan, but I really don't know. That could be Warren's brother about to square up with somebody. Because it was another female that came out and said that it was some black kids in another boat that they got into it with. Then some other people said they was fighting amongst each other. Both of them can be true. I believe they was fighting amongst each other. You know why? And I wonder if, I believe they was fighting amongst each other because of the way that Wyatt told Nolan to get on the boat. Get on the effing boat. Now, we leaving. And what? Who the you think you talking to? Like, really? So it was an issue. And the issue, Wyatt had an issue the way he was talking to Nolan. If you go back and listen at how they said he was talking, like, and then when you listen at Shima, she was like, she was actually talking to him, and he was getting slick at the mouth. This guy right here. Why is that? And he's the only one that ever spent the night at their house, according to Christine. And I believe that this is who Nolan met first. Now I know that Warren said he'd been knowing him since the 8th grade. He knew him before the people that he was interviewing with, because they met him in high school. Warren talked about 8th grade, right? But how long has Wyatt known him? Because I believe that he had an issue because he was screaming and yelling at him and cussing at him. For what? And then in the next breath, they talking about how sweet Nolan is and how he's never angry or upset, and you need some light. This is what Warren said, something to the effect, anytime he needs some light, he'll call up Nolan and he always make him laugh. He's his entertainment, is what I got from that. But what's up with Wyatt? We heard his name so much in this because every time they bring up my buddy yelling at Nolan, this is who we talking about. He done spent several nights at the house, so they even consider him a friend over all the other people, even though Warren want to act like he closer to him. So, I mean, just make it make sense. This dude ain't came out and said nothing, and you was yelling at him. So I really don't know what's up with all this. I think it was some jealousy going on. That's what I believe. Because another thing I caught them saying is like, oh, he was a celebrity. He was this and that. Yeah, the same things that people will love about you will be the same things they hate about you.
Accident could happen between those boats. And so many people are drunk. I don't think they're paying attention.
But here's the thing. Here's the thing, right? We could always say anything is possible. But
even an accident could happen between those boats.
And this right here, so I was wondering who these guys was, because literally the guy that's on the boat, I assumed it could be Bert, right? Or Fart or whatever. I assume because it's his boat, and Warren is asking him to come over there and all that. And he was like, my glasses are fucking broke. So he was mad about something. But the guy that's in the water reaching for a drink, because it's a female handing out drinks, and she just gave that female one. He's there. They look alike. So I don't know. That just really caught my attention. And I do know that what's his name has on a hat similar. What is his name? Morgan. But I can't make out these folks. I can't. But this is the actual video. This ain't enhanced or nothing like that. But who is that? But dude did have on, let me see, on that picture. He had on a similar hat. Probably as the guy in the water. But I don't know if that was him or not. But why they look alike? They look just alike. Same hat with glasses and their hair.
So many people are drunk. I don't think they're paying attention.
But here's the thing.
See, they Jay Megan said that this girl was Katie. Like,
and so many people are drunk. I don't think they're
right here. She said that's her, and this is Bart's boat. So I mean, and then that was another thing that I just felt like, and this is my opinion, that Warren didn't want Nolan with them. He got Bart that morning, which that don't make sense to me either, that it wasn't already planned, but maybe Bart was going out there anyway, because what he said is that my father decided not to go. Now I wonder, why did his father cancel? So was he going with his father at first? And then now he can just take the whole boat. Very, very interesting though. And then it was like a bunch of people on that boat. I think he was 12 to 16 people or something like that, he said. He mentioned females from college. So, and these people, these same people go every year because J. Megan put up some pictures from last year. And they had that kind of blows me away, that when she put up the pictures from last year, they had on the same bathing suits. Like, what? Like, you would think that they will have a new badass bathing suit every year. Who wears the same bathing suit? Anyway, that's just my opinion. But that's why she was able to identify them. So, allegedly.
Paying attention.
But here's the thing. Here's the thing, right? We could always say anything is possible. An asteroid could strike right now. But I am telling you that there are a lot of people who have talked about this case and have said things that are not true, and they haven't been to the island. They've got to go to the island. If you don't go to the island, you can't speak with authority about the case.
Some people got common sense. And if it was too many people out here for foul play to happen and nobody see it, it was too many people out here for death to happen and nobody see it. You know what I'm saying? Like, make it a drowning. I mean, make it make sense. Oh, everybody is, well, people don't necessarily see somebody drown. Everybody don't yell and scream when it happened. Come on, not one person. Not one. Yeah, it's a lot of people on the boats and all that stuff. But it's also, and it's a lot of people in the water, but how do you miss everything? And just the fact that they just trying to make everything chaotic at a certain time, it just tells me it's just a ball of confusion.
And I won't name names, but a lot of people who have hurt these fine young men and have defamed them, they've never visited the island. And I'm willing to bet that they've never visited the islands. Look at it right there. That shot.
And this is when that picture was snapped, because this is when they discovered him down there. And Tracer explained this himself. A Trasher, I mean. He explained this himself. This is when the picture was taken at some point. This was the search day. You can see them out there. I mean, I don't know what this is, but just sad, man. Right there where the hell the boats was at. Because you could see this behind a boat. You know?
Have right there. Broad daylight with thousands of people there. Mm-hmm. The picture speaks for itself.
I agree with what you're saying. I agree that it would be nearly impossible for foul play to take place on that beach.
Bullshit. It did happen.
Again, I direct your attention to the gathering of boats with the boats closely together. Everybody's drinking. Nobody's paying attention. Like, I can't tell what's going on between the boats at a distance.
When I tell you this freaking video captured everything, because what's behind them is Anna Seymour, the person that was taking the video. Well, not this video, but the other video, where when she panned it around, you could see that's where allegedly the grandfather was spotted at, and the other boats, because they boats was behind her, is what I believe. Or it was somewhere in that shot. Everything.
I don't know. I don't know what's happening in the water. I don't know. That said, I agree. I don't think anything happened out in the plain view on the beach. But there are other alternatives.
I want to add, though, we have a difference of opinion. When I see that video of the boats in the water there, that also is not a good place to get away with murder. Now, we have been very careful.
And it's not a good place to drown without nobody damn seeing you. Okay, look how close they were to the shoreline, and look at where Nolan was found at. Right where they was at. Like, I mean, make it make sense. that mean that they would have been out here at all these people at this time at 4. Because when you listen at Warren, he's like, it was just as many people there at 4:30 when we left as if it wasn't more than when we got there. So all them people ain't see nothing. Nobody. And then you having trouble with your boat allegedly, but you don't get help from, well, we found out, he did get help, but why even call Cito? Unless it was for an alibi. It just don't make sense. It just don't make sense, okay? Let me see what y'all saying. Please smack that like button, y'all. And subscribe to the channel if you have not. If no one cares about what happened to him, something can, in fact, happen. Yeah, but that don't mean, just because you're ignoring something don't mean that you didn't see it. Like, they could not care, but they still aware that it happened. The more people there, the less likely you are to notice individuals. That doesn't make sense. The more people that are there, the less likely you are to notice individuals. Nah, because everybody is everywhere filling spaces. So that would mean whoever was next to Nolan wouldn't know what the hell happened to Nolan. And then the reason why, one of the reasons I don't believe that I believe something happened to him. But the other part is Javon. He said that when he came back, they were gone. He didn't say Nolan was still there. Nolan wasn't there. So if they left and he was gone for about 15 minutes, 10 minutes, whatever few minutes he was gone, when he came back, they were out of there. And when they made the Cito call, it was supposed to have been 4 o'clock. But then we got to remember that they claiming 3:40, 3:50 is when the fight jumped off and all of this happened. Like, get out of here. Like, all of that stuff ain't going to happen at once unless you're trying to make it happen. You're trying to fit that in there. Not promoting on the channel, just saying another helpful tip for solving this puzzle. Yeah, but promoting a channel, telling me who going to be live, that's not helping me. Because I pay attention to, I'm live right now. I don't care who else live. The more people there is the less likely you are to notice individuals. That doesn't make sense. And I'm sure that he not on this side either. Like, I mean, he probably, I don't really listen to other people that ain't really feeling the same way, because I don't need my blood to boil. I don't go looking for people that's against what I'm talking about. If no one cares about what happened to him, yep. So Mean Jim said, so theory that the Cito call was made while they were on the island, which is why the operator asked if they were on the island. Yeah, she did. She did say, are you on Horn Island? So Wyatt said they were, not Wyatt, Warren said they was a quarter of a mile out. And then Jack said they was a mile and a half out. That's a big freaking difference. So, but they did track him on Horn Island. You right about that. So they wasn't too far. Everything going on, y'all see everything, but you don't see the supposed drowning. Please. Exactly. I ain't buying it. I am not buying it. Let me let them keep talking.
Refrain from speculation. We have refrained from guessing, and we're going to continue to do that. However, plain view of that scene, the beach, the boats, the water, that is not a secretive environment. It just isn't.
It ain't.
Guys, let me move to the boat, the Triton. Has the boat been searched by authorities?
I do not believe that it has been searched by authorities, but it's been available to authorities this entire time. If authorities wanted to come see it, they're more than able to, and have been.
Okay, I find that very interesting, Tyler, and I'll tell you why. In so many cases that I prosecuted and covered and investigated, you see defendants, targets, trying to get rid of evidence. You see them cleaning the boat. You see them washing it down. You see them trying all sorts of methods to get rid of evidence. It's interesting to me and somewhat probative that your clients have offered the boat up to law enforcement to come and search it. I'm curious, has the boat not just been searched with the naked eye? Has luminol been used on the boat? Has alternative light sources been used on the boat? Has a cadaver dog come to the boat? Has a scent dog come to the boat? To your knowledge, either one of you.
To my knowledge, Nancy, I do not believe that has happened. But again, my 3 clients, either one of them, none of them own that boat. So if it has, you would have to have the owners.
Tyler, do I look like I just fell off the turnip truck? Maybe I do, because we did sell turnips at the farmer's market when I was growing up. No, it's not your client's fault. It's law enforcement's fault if they haven't done it.
If authorities thought that there was something to find on that boat, don't you think this far out they would already done it?
I would think in the ordinary course of an investigation into potential foul play, I would have gone out there and done it. Just
if you believe there was potential foul play.
Just to say, I searched it and it was clean. I didn't find any blood.
Well, Nancy, you're asking a valid. Hold on, you're asking a valid question. You're just asking the wrong people. That's a question for law enforcement.
To your knowledge, has it been searched? Have you been told by anyone that it was searched?
I don't have any involvement in the law enforcement. I don't have any involvement in the investigation.
I'm going to take that as a no.
You can take it how you want. We're conducting our own investigation.
I cannot state clearly enough, Nolan was not on the boat when it departed around 4:30.
Well, maybe it wasn't, but the boat that took off 5 minutes before, he damn sure could have been on. And you see, no, they ain't do no kind of searches. The cadaver dog should have been out there immediately if they was going to search for anything. And they just treated it as a drowning out the gate. That's what they said. And if they didn't have the money to get Ben Crump and all that, this thing would have been wrapped up already. Okay, they already had their minds made up, in my opinion. They, you know, the investigation wasn't happening until all of the complaints started coming out. So make it make sense. Excuse me. Y'all, please smack that thumbs up and subscribe to the channel if you have not.
Thank you for sharing. Thank you for sharing. Thank you for sharing. For sharing. For sharing. For sharing. Thank you for so much. Join Sleuth Nation membership and become a sleuth for special members emojis, special badges by your name, and sneak peek videos.
Please smack that thumbs up, y'all.
Look, the video that you're showing now, does anyone look like, and look, there's the boy that's on the CETO call right there. Does anyone look like there's a
And I mean, you see something
body on the boat or something that just happened? Look, Nancy,
it's questionable. I was just watching somebody earlier that was like, this wasn't even from that day, in her opinion. And you can see the shadows on this boat. Like it's she said she felt like it was a fishing trip.
You were a prosecutor for a long time. None of these boys have a story that is untrue. Don't you think that after all this time, somebody would have snitched? That somebody wouldn't be able to keep their story straight? No. Look, these boys are telling the truth.
Typically, you're absolutely right. That's why I usually don't believe in conspiracies, because nobody can keep their yap shut. Somebody blabs.
And Nancy, now I'll say something about the CETO call. I have heard a lot of versions of the CETO call, and most of them are either completely fake or AI or doctored. And unfortunately, for folks that are doing that, that may become the subject of one or more lawsuits.
I have not heard not one AI or doctored. I heard enhanced footage, because every little word you can hear in the background, you know, some of them I couldn't make out on my own, but some of them was super, super clear. And the ones that were clear before she did anything was cause for a damn investigation. But ain't nobody gonna tell me not to believe what the hell I heard, period.
It appears that there are hundreds of versions of the CETO call all over the internet, everywhere online. So now nobody can keep track of it. But I can tell you that. I can tell you, look at those photos. Nolan Wells is not on that boat.
The photos to me are very convincing. Let's see the photo they're talking about again.
Yes, I'm glad we agree about that.
Do I know what time that was or what day that was? Exactly. Is there a timestamp? Look, I'm not saying either of you are lying. I'm saying this is how I would test evidence in court. I mean, I take everything with a box of salt. When was that taken? Where was it taken? What time was it taken? Yeah. I'm curious. Is it timestamped?
And Nancy, you've been trying this case for over 30 days. The facts are the facts are the facts. These boys had nothing to do with the death of Nolan Wells.
Okay, when was the timestamp?
I mean, how do they know that? You know what I'm saying? What's the proof that they didn't have nothing to do with it? Because look how they acting. Their behavior is weird, right? Their behavior don't seem like innocent people, in my opinion. The body language, the things that's coming out of their mouth, and then just no compassion for his loss, his parents' loss. They sitting up here blaming her. Oh, she put out the photo and brought out this race thing and all that. No, that was a photo of that day, and she trying to find her son. And anybody that loved him would understand their actions. And an innocent person would just, they wouldn't act like this, in my opinion. The police shouldn't have to been called for them to hand over the phone and all that. We got the dispatch audio. Shout out to Plunder. So we got the dispatch audio. And the police were called before the keys was handed over. Why is that? Give the people what they want and get gone. Let them go.
Nolan Wells.
Okay, when was the timestamp on that video?
Nancy, I'm going to answer it this way.
Yes.
We don't think that you're accusing us of lying. We don't feel that way. We're just simply saying this. And it's okay. You're asking legitimate
I mean, they accusing everybody else of lying, so I definitely don't believe it. Because I mean, what proof do they have? Do they know what the DA is presenting? Because I mean, maybe they do. I don't know what they know. But I know I don't believe this shit.
Investigative questions. And we don't fault you for that. But here's what we're saying. It's been over 30 days. There has never been one shred, one iota, one piece, nothing. There is no evidence that ties Warren, Morgan, or Jax to any crime.
So they just ignoring the video, Cito. It don't exist.
Because they did not commit a crime. They had nothing whatsoever to do. Right.
And again, what's timestamp on that video?
But that's not our burden. See, that's the problem. You're putting this burden on us. All right.
No, but it is. If you well, I don't know. They didn't present it, but saying look at the video is saying that this is some piece of evidence. So then when she asked for the metadata, nobody has it. Oh, they didn't present the video. This is Brandon Tatum's video. But where's the timestamp? Where's the date? Where's the metadata? It's don't nobody know when they are out there on the island all the time. This could have been from another day. It could have been from a fishing trip. Hell, we just supposed to believe these jokers? Like, get the hell out of here.
Never been one piece of evidence.
You did that to yourself, Paul Sick, when you said, here's the boat that day and he's not on it. That may very well be true. That may be absolutely true. And I'm saying, when was the video taken?
Well, no, I'm telling you.
Around 4:30, July 4th.
Yeah, and I'm telling you another thing, Nancy.
Did you hear him say the video was taken around 4:30 July 4th? And they said that he was on the Cito call at the time. No, it wasn't. The Cito call wasn't 30 minutes. So he just said, did y'all hear the lawyer in the background say it was taken at 4:30 on the 4th? How is that when they call Cito at 4 o'clock? Why is he still on the phone with them?
July 4th.
Yeah, and
he just said it.
May very well be true. That may be absolutely true. And I'm saying, when was the video taken?
Well, no, I'm telling you.
Around 4:30, July 4th.
Yeah. And
really? And he said, yeah. See, they not investigating the case. They just talking about their clients and protecting them. But it sounds like they haven't really looked at. They not looking into nothing. They ain't. They are not looking into a crime, because you're gonna hear what he say.
I'm telling you another thing, Nancy. We have multiple witnesses, and we're going to protect their names on the air here. We're not going to air out a private list of witnesses. We are. We're going to protect them. So I want to emphasize that as well. The witnesses that we're talking about, we're not going to do that to them. We're not going to name them here on the air. We're not doing that.
I'm not asking you to.
Yeah. Well, it sounds like you are.
I'm asking you again when the timestamp is on that video. But if you don't know, I'm not saying that that's wrong or right. Well, I'm saying I want to know to corroborate that video.
I understand that, but that's not a relevant question for your present guest since we didn't make the video. But I can tell you this.
Okay, well, you showed me the video, and that's why I'm asking. Okay, let me ask you something else.
Yeah, we didn't show you.
You state that your clients
Go ahead.
know of witnesses, or you know of witnesses that placed Nolan at Horn Island alive at 6 p.m.
Yes. Yes,
Now,
100%.
all of this aside, all of the, has the boat been searched? Where is Nolan's phone? Where are your client's phone? All that is superseded by the fact that there may be witnesses placing him alive on the island at 6 p.m. And everything else disappears for me if that is true, because I know your clients were gone at 4:30-ish.
See, now they basing it off of the GPS, which the GPS can be altered, allegedly, okay? So that is what they needed to be able to say, okay, they needed some people to place him on the island at after the 4:30. That's the piece. That was the missing piece. You hear that? That was the missing piece. Once they found that piece, now they confident. Now they good. And it don't matter. What was their evidence, though? Did they have a picture? Just they word? Oh, these two people said they seen Nolan, so case over. But the way that they just said that leads me to believe that that was the missing piece they needed to say, yep, he drowned. These people seen him, and this clears them because they were gone at 4:30. That GPS could be wrong. It could be altered, allegedly. And that's my opinion, because it can be.
Yes.
Have these witnesses been questioned by law enforcement? Do you know?
Yes. Yes.
Yes.
You're sure?
Yes. Yes. And I'll tell you another thing.
They don't give a damn about finding out what happened to Nolan. It's just all about clearing them. And that's not just they lawyers. But it should be just they lawyers. Lawyers supposed to be rooting for their clients. But DAs, prosecutors, judges, and shit, they're not. They're supposed to be unbiased.
By law enforcement. Do you know?
Yes. Yes.
Lights were gone at 4:30-ish.
Yes.
Have these witnesses been questioned by law enforcement? Do you know?
Yes. Yes.
And why should we believe them? What the fuck they got rather than they words?
Yes.
You're sure?
Yes.
I don't give a damn.
Yes. And I'll tell you another thing. One other thing. There's a corollary. Nancy, there's a corollary. So there are witnesses who can place Nolan Wells on the island at 6 p.m. There are also witnesses who can confirm that Warren, Morgan, and Jax left the island.
Only witness we need is the same damn camera footage that they showed us when they left. Show us them coming back. And show us every dock that they went to camera, because you know everybody got cameras. People gonna protect their damn property. You best believe that. They got cameras everywhere. Bree already showed us that. So show us all the dock footage. And how much have they gathered?
Around 4:30. So both sides are covered. We've got it covered.
Well, for me,
You see that? They've got it covered. But we don't know what happened to Nolan, so it ain't covered for us.
it's not that simple, because I still don't know what happened to Nolan Wells. However,
Exactly.
Neither do we.
I believe that the
Neither do we. And they don't care. You know what I'm saying? They don't care what happened. Long as they can clear these guys, that's their job. And that's my opinion as far as they don't care. But that's what I'm looking at.
GPS, which really cannot be controverted, shows when the Triton
That's
left.
bullshit. That's bullshit right there, saying that the GPS can't be refuted.
Witness or no witness. I've got that. Now, who's on the boat? I believe that video is going to tell me who's on the boat. But all that, the overarching issue is, was he alive at 6 p.m.? This is where I'm going.
And Nancy,
I don't care who was with him last. I don't care if it exonerates or convicts anybody. I just want to know the truth.
And it's good to ask, and I want to say this, it's good to ask tough questions. These are all valid questions. But what we're trying to do for you is simplify it. 4:30 and 6 p.m. End of story.
I want to believe.
See, that's all they looking at, y'all. 4:30 and 6 p.m. If they can lock that in, which they done locked it in, is what I'm hearing. They've locked in that time. They've locked in those two damn witnesses that came forward and said what they said. They might bring a lawsuit against the Cito company. Why would they sue them? They ain't going to show us anything that is legit. I believe it, TTT. I believe it. Yeah, because there was cameras at the house with a doctor, so why we don't got no pictures of them coming back? Exactly. And then we know they went to Fort Bayou. They went over the bridge and all this. It's flop cameras and bridge cameras everywhere. Pier cameras, house cameras. You know they got the cameras angled on their boats. Yes. And we don't have that footage. No press conferences, nothing.
I want to believe you, Ed, but just because somebody says so, don't make it so. And I'm trying to prove it, that your clients were gone and that Nolan, more importantly, in my mind, was still alive. If that's true, your clients are in the clear. As far as I'm concerned. And the CTO call and everything else falls away if I can place him alive at 6 p.m. And the people that want to hang your clients, I can't help their unrequited anger.
Have you ever seen any other people accused of the crimes that online internet trolls have accused these boys of? Go and do podcasts, do interviews, have their attorneys go and advocate for them like this on a national platform like this. If we weren't 100% sure and they weren't 100% sure that nothing they did was in connection to Nolan Wells' death. They left the island at 4:30. He was spotted on the island after that at 6, alive and well. That's it. End of story. Do you think these are actions of 3 boys who, 1, keep their story straight, 2, don't snitch on each other, and 3, have made and had to have made to defend themselves multiple media appearances and have their attorneys do the same? Are those the actions of someone who is guilty? No.
Yeah, those are the actions of somebody that know they protected, the fix is in, and they ain't worried about a goddamn thing. That's my opinion. Yeah, because I said that. I'm like, they was getting too much traction with the funeral and all of this, all of the appearances they were doing, and they was kind of quiet for a little bit, and then bam, they came out because they got their stuff together. That's why they're speaking. They're confident. 4:30 and 6 is all they was concerned about. They got GPS saying that they left at 4:30, and then they got 2 witnesses saying they seen Nolan after 4:30. That's the final piece. That's why they came out. Period, point blank. That's what he just said. And so that's sad, man. I'm really I don't know, man. I really feel like he not gonna get justice that way. They gonna end up suing everybody and all of that stuff. They gonna pay out. But I pray that God intervene and bring Mississippi the fuck down. That's what I want. Burn Mississippi. They need to. Like, this is crazy. It's a
right. We won't be able to answer all of your tough questions. And the reason we can't is because we just don't know the answer to a lot of them. But we do know what we know. We know they were off that island at 4:30. We know Nolan was on the island at 6. We just want to emphasize our humility in that regard because we just don't know, and we would love to know. We want to know how this tragedy happened as much as anyone, more than anyone.
More than the family, I guess. See what I'm saying? So let's talk about the GPS right quick. Okay. Let's talk about that because this is absolutely crazy, man. And we're going to get into that video next. But as far as the GPS, yes, the boat GPS can be altered in some circumstances, but it also depends on which GPS data we're talking about. So about both GPS can involve several different records. So we had a display position, waypoints, and route. These can often be edited or deleted directly on the chart plotter, which is where we seen him sitting at, right? And then save, track, and trip history. Depending on the unit, tracks may be deleted, renamed, edited, imported, or overwritten. It can be manipulated. So exported GPS files. Once GPS information is copied to an SD card, computer, phone, or other storage, the exported file can potentially be modified. Okay, so this ain't no set in stone GPS. Device configuration, date, time, track recording settings, coordinated format, and other settings can sometimes be changed, which may affect how records appear. Then we got raw internal forensics data. This is much harder to conventionally manipulate without potentially leaving evidence. But they could just be looking at one certain thing. They might not be looking at everything. So they gonna just look at what they can come up with, what they can prove. That's all. They just trying to put a puzzle piece together. And if you're not trying to if you're not looking for a criminal, you're not gonna find one. Okay, you're not. And so a forensic examiner may be able to identify inconsistent deleted records, file system, artifacts, timestamps, gaps, or conflicts with other sources. But how deep are they going with that? Are they looking for that? No, in my opinion. So most importantly, GPS coordinates on a screenshot or printed map are not the same things as forensic evidence, GPS evidence. To establish whether both GPS data is authentic, investigators would ideally obtain the original device and compare it with independent records, such as something called AIS, and if equipped at transmitting. So VHS, DSC information, phone location records, photographs, videos, and their metadata, marina cameras, Coast Guard records, other vessels' GPS AIS data, and timestamps from call messages. But how deep are they going with this? So regarding the Nolan Wells investigation, the important question isn't simply, can GPS be changed? It is, what device produced the GPS timeline, who extracted it, and when it was obtained, whether the original device was preserved, and whether the coordinates were independently corroborated. So I mean, I'm not feeling confident at all, and it very well could be manipulated. So the question is, who physically had the boat's GPS after July 4th? When did investigators actually take possession of it? Like, because we know that they came right out and said, ain't nothing to see here. There's no foul play. Did investigators examine the original GPS unit, or were they given downloaded information from someone else? That's something to look at. And does the boat's GPS match the other evidence from that day? And what does the GPS of the other boat say? Even the one that left is one that left. That, to me, that one is critical. The one that left right before everything. They said literally 5 minutes before. 5 minutes before they put off, or Morgan left, that's when everything jumped off. Nah, that I believe that's why they left. Who leaves Horn Island at 4? Like, what? The water is the most beautiful place to have fireworks. Now, I don't know if it's allowed out there, but to me, I mean, that's where they do fireworks here. Like downtown is done on the freaking water. So that would be the best thing. And everybody, they left before it even got freaking dark. Something bad happened. Warren told us that he called his mother 8 times. And we find out that she was there on the island, even though she says that she was only there for 10 minutes to drop off her son. Do that make sense? It doesn't. That does not make sense. And so he's calling his mom 8 freaking times. Now we got this. But show us y'all coming back. Why can't we get that footage? That right there would be key. And even in this footage, the 2 different scenes that you see, they're like 13 minutes apart or something like that, I noticed. So why did they clip whatever was in between on this footage? They clipped something out. Now let's go to them. Wait, let me see what y'all saying right quick. Y'all please smack that thumbs up. Hit that good like button. I see BFF then had to delete something. Wait. Yeah, you's an idiot. I talk how I talk, stupid. Why do you even care? See, people like you don't love yourself. You probably look in the mirror and you hate what you see. That's why you want to come in and insult somebody that ain't said nothing about your dumb ass. I'm glad you got deleted, bitch. Welcome to the fucking block party. I can't stand people. Got me cussing right now. But anyway, let me pull this video up. Just ignorant. Hold on, y'all. Give me a second. Got him. Let's go.
It's kind of sad that like people, I have some friends of mine that I'm very, very close with. I just don't know their parents. You know, we're grown men. You don't have to know someone's parents to be close with them. Nolan rode with me and like rode with me.
Now notice he said that they're grown men and you don't have to know somebody's parents or whatever. But in another one, it was, well, we only teenagers or whatever. You know what I'm saying? So just manipulation. Whatever fits you. Whatever's convenient for you.
Why? It's because we had to get parts remote. But anyway, like Jack said, like he used to pick up Nolan every day. I used to pick up Nolan every day. Like why I used to pick up Nolan? Like literally would pick.
Did y'all just hear him say that they had Nolan was just with him? This is Warren talking. Nolan was just with me the day before. We went and picked up some parts for a boat. So was it known that it was an issue with the boat the day before and y'all still took the boat out? What part did they get? I'm confused.
I think it's kind of sad that like people, I have some friends of mine that I'm very, very close with. I just don't know their parents. You know, we're grown men. You don't have to know someone's parents to be close with them. Nolan rode with me and like rode with me a while because we had to get parts remote. But anyway, like Jack said, like he used to pick up Nolan every day. I used to pick up Nolan every day. Like why I used to pick up Nolan? Like literally would pick. We didn't make Nolan drive anywhere.
That's how much we loved him, bro. Like, we always wanted to be
like
there.
That's how much like everybody knows this too. Like Nolan didn't drive. Like especially at least in our friend group because Nolan, we always pick Nolan up regardless of where it was. Like literally on July 3rd, Nolan rode with me and like rode with me a while because we had to get parts remote. But anyway, just for it's crazy that like I think it's.
He breezed through that so quick, and I just wonder what part did they need. I blocked a person at Dustin. Thank you. I blocked a person. Shout out to everybody in the chat. Thank y'all for tuning in. Sarah said they didn't just get sent Trump's lawyer, but Trump himself even had key federal agencies stop providing oversight of civil rights laws nationally last week. And yep, I heard about that. And then but then when I looked it up, they said that they were taking new cases. I think you talking about the DOJ. When I heard that, I looked it up because I'm like, you got to be kidding me. So I'm not sure about that. I am not sure about that. I need to start doing my politics again. I got a whole politics channel. We're going to have to tap in.
Kind of sad that like people, I have some friends of mine that I'm very, very close with. I just don't know their parents. You know, we're grown men. You don't have to know someone's parents to be close with them. And for someone's like, for, them to come out and be like, oh, well, y'all aren't friends with somebody. Well, how are you going to tell me like my relationship with somebody else? You know, it's crazy. Like they've said this all about us. Like, oh, we're fake friends. Well, that's really horrible to say, because if you go look on every social media post on Nolan's Instagram or Facebook or anything else, the only people in it are us and his football guys. Like,
yes, and that's the problem. That he is nowhere on theirs. He's nowhere on their profile. He's not in their pictures and stuff. This is what I'm hearing, and I believe it. You know, whenever people could look at their profiles, Nolan wasn't nowhere around, and his mother even mentioned that, like, you know, is not telling him, you know, things need to be mutual and stuff like that. They wasn't treating him like they was treating, like he was treating them. I'm not sure another creator was talking about it. Oh, okay. Yeah, they literally had said that, and then when I looked it up, it was like, yeah, they were taking new cases. And so what happened on Horn Island between 4 and 5? Another lady said everyone left by 5. What? When they were supposed to be watching fireworks from there. Yeah, that's what I would think. But everybody didn't leave at 5. They did, though. You know what I'm saying? It was people there all overnight, from what I'm hearing. And I know for a fact the father said that when they got there was somebody that had been chilling all night, didn't warn them, or somebody said that it was like it was several people that stayed on that water overnight. But my thing is to leave before it even get dark. They left before the party was getting started good. I mean, you get there at 11:14 allegedly, which I ain't sure if it's 11:15, 14, or 10 o'clock. Because when Tatum was interviewing them, he said something about, so y'all got there about 10 o'clock, and they like, right. What time was it? Like, this is crazy.
That's just so real. Every time Nolan's in Starkville, he's with us. Every time Nolan's anywhere, not even just Starkville, but anywhere.
Oh yeah, we went on countless vacations and
prom, homecoming, everything. No one's with us because we were his friends. It's not that hard to understand. I mean, I don't have to prove this to anybody, but that's the truth. I don't have to prove my friendship. And these guys feel the same way. We don't have to prove our friendship with Nolan, but I know.
I agree.
Right.
Yeah, Nolan was always around our houses. I mean, I can even say this. Nolan and Wyatt's dad had a secret friendship that we weren't even in.
Yeah, I mean, like best friends.
We would go over to Wyatt's house, and Nolan, we would all be in the backyard, whatever, doing something, and Nolan would be inside on the couch with Wyatt's dad, and they'd just be cutting it up all night.
Yeah, all night. Like
Scarface is their favorite movie.
Yeah, they watch Scarface
all the time.
But it really shows you like the effect like all this has had on everybody, not including just our friend group, but like our friends' parents and my parents. Like our friends were really in family.
I mean, they talking about Nolan like he been gone a couple years. You know what I'm saying? This just happened. He was only freaking 18 years old at the height of his freaking life, getting ready for camp and getting ready for the NFL and all this stuff. They talking like this happened 3 years ago. Ain't nobody emotional. Don't nobody have a damn tear. Only thing I see when I do see emotion is anger. When they talking about the mother making it racial, which is a bunch of bullshit. They by any means necessary get justice. Period. And you can get your dumb ass out of here too. Bye-bye, stupid, ignorant ass. Anyway, let me keep it going. Don't come over here with that shit.
We're really close with Nolan. And I mean, this has been a horrible tragedy, not just for us, but for our families and friends too. My mom knew Nolan. She used to drive us from walk-offs to school once a week. My stepdad knew Nolan because he used to drive us. My dad, everybody, like,
and he would always come to the house too all the time.
And not just that, but like I'm talking about like from a young age, like from 8th grade. But
see how he separated it when Jack tried to get in there. Oh no, I'm talking about from a younger age. So Warren allegedly knew Nolan longer than all of them. But I don't know, because I'm thinking Wyatt knew him before, or either that or him and Wyatt got cooler, became better friends because he would spend a night at their house. He was known to the family, and Wyatt was the most upset, sound like. Wyatt was the one that was yelling at him. Like, that's like, I don't know, man. That's odd to me. Very odd.
Nolan would always be at our houses, stay at our houses. For his parents to come out and say, oh, well, we don't know these boys.
Well, then there's
and he the only one that ain't came out. Well, he one of the ones that haven't said a damn thing. And I mean, they just keep saying his name. Wyatt this, Wyatt said that. Why? Even when he talked about Wyatt, when he asked him, had he heard from Nolan? And the way that he answered him, he had a damn attitude then.
I mean, you don't know where your kid's staying at night? Because he was staying at our houses. So
just so disrespectful. You don't know where your kid was at night? Like, just no respect for the parents at all that's looking for your alleged friend or now knowing that he's deceased. Like, what? No compassion.
We've probably been to Horn Island this year alone 3 times with Nolan. And then the previous year, we went to Horn Island. Nolan was with us out there then. And every time.
Okay, so 3 times this year. And we know that Nolan's mom said he just started going with them last year.
When we go out to Horn Island, usually Nolan's with us. And every single year for the 4th of July, when we go out there, Nolan's with us. I mean,
that's not true. His mother said he just started going last year. So every single year, he's not with them. He might have been with them last year. Yeah, he was with them last year and this year. Not every single year. But they've been going all their life.
This is a tradition.
Which means their parents know these people. Their parents are locked in with these people.
I mean, everybody waits all year for Horn Island, 4th of July. Like, that is the place to be. That is a party all day. And it is literally
all day, but they left at 4:30. Make it make sense.
You ride up all the rallies. Like, that's what we want to do all day. Like, that's the funnest day of the year. And yeah.
The funnest day of the year. They've been planning this since last year, July 5th, according to Morgan, because he said he started his police story from last year, July 5th. That's how long they've been planning it to see how it could be better. And this is what happened. So is this what they came up with?
I mean, Nolan was with us 2 weeks prior to the 4th of July at Horn Island with no one out there. We had any intention to hurt Nolan at the island. Why would we do it on the 4th of July with thousands of people out there? I mean, it's pretty clear. We literally all went out there for my buddy's birthday, and Nolan was with a whole group of people like we were with on the 4th. So, I mean, that's it was on like a Wednesday. It's not like this is just like a random like occasion. No, we do this all the time, and not even just Horn Island, but Nolan's on the boat with us all the time. We all go on the boat. We all do things together like this. So,
I want to get to some pointed questions about the phone situation, because I think last time, Warren, when you and I talked or spoke, you weren't at the house when the phone was recovered. So I want to figure this out. Explain to me, because a lot of people are still online saying that they find it to be incredibly suspicious that Nolan left his phone. Can you explain, did Nolan ask you for his phone back when you guys were leaving? Was it not a part of the conversation? Was Nolan the only person that left his phone on the boat? Can you guys walk me through that idea?
So I can go ahead first and say, nobody has their phone in the water. When you jump in a pool, do you have your phone? Like, no, you don't. You're not going to bring your electronic in the water. So what everybody does is they stick their phones on the dash of the boat and they forget about it because you don't have good service. You can't even send a picture through from Horn Island to like somebody else. Does is they stick their phones on the dash of the boat and they forget about it because nobody has their phone in the water. When you jump in a pool, do you have your phone? Like, no, you don't. You're not going to bring your electronic in the water. So what everybody.
Can you guys walk me through that idea?
So I can go ahead first and say nobody has their phone in the water. When you jump in a pool, do you have your phone? Like, no, you don't. You're not.
And that's what's so dumb. Like, I mean, when they answering this question, who the hell do you think that people gonna jump in the water with their phone? I mean, you can stand in the water with your phone though, but you ain't gonna jump in the water and get everything wet. Nobody ever said that. But you have an option to either be in the boat, in the water, or walking on the damn beach. It was said that Nolan was allegedly walking around, right? He would have had his phone. Listen, when you listen at him Jax tell the story about the picture, he talks about Nolan, it being his idea to take the picture. So do you really want me to believe that that's the only picture Nolan wanted to take all day? No, he would have been recording. He would have been taking videos, pictures, and all of that. Nobody's gonna not have their phone. Not having my phone is like a missing damn limb. I'm like, hold on. Always searching for the phone. It's just out of habit. And I'm sure y'all can relate. Like, if I leave my phone at home, I can be late for work. I'm turning back around to get my phone. So I'm not going to go on an island on the 4th of July, a holiday that many enjoy, and not have any videos or pictures. Even if I can't send them off, because they talked about Snapchat or how you can record it and it could be like in a draft or whatever it goes in. It might not send, but soon as your signal come back up, bam, you gonna send those videos. I don't believe for 1 second Nolan didn't take no pictures. And I'm not so sure about the picture that they came up with either, with them saying, because what would stop Nolan from taking a picture from his own phone? Why did they opt to take a picture with that camera that some girl allegedly sent? Especially since we've now been hearing that it's a possibility that that picture is fake. You know, according to Jay Megan, she was looking at the skyline and different things like that. And it's a couple pictures that was taken. I don't know if it was real or not, but why wouldn't he take it with his own phone? That makes no sense. Shout out to Tone in the building. I had to stop watching him after that first interview. What was it that made you stop watching him? Because the dude is very confusing and he sounds like a liar. Sarah says, yep, but that wasn't anything resembling a serious and neutral interrogation interview. It was never meant to. It was their PR stunt. Yep. Because if you're not looking at this as a criminal issue, you're not going to question, you're not going to ask certain questions. You're not looking for it. Your antennas are not going up. Anything, and you have reasons to be biased. Like, I mean, come on. And then as far as unaliving somebody and all that, if you know that you protected and you're not gonna get in any trouble, who wouldn't? Some people might decide to purge. Like, I ain't worried about getting in no trouble. They got me. I know the Coast Guards. I know the freaking sea tow captain. I mean, these are connections they had. Because the grandfather called Seth, remember? He called him. That's a connection. Then Warren called the Coast Guard. Who else they know out there? Like, make it make sense, y'all. Come on. These people are well connected. Flat out. Shout out to Rodney for the 10 jewels. And shout out to me68 for the 10 jewels. I appreciate that. And shout out to True Crime with Tone for the 10 jewels. Thank y'all. That's crazy though, man. Like,
bring your electronic in the water. So what everybody does is they stick their phones on the dash of the boat and they forget about it because you don't have good service. You can't even send a picture through from Horn Island to like somebody else. And so they put it on the phone. And even as teenagers, we don't really get on them. We go out there and we conversate and we see a bunch of people that we usually don't see on a day-to-day basis, that we graduated high school with, guys that graduated before us. You know, it's a big meeting, like seeing all your friends that you haven't seen in a while. And so whenever we were coming back in, he didn't even think about grabbing his phone. He never asked about his phone, along with 5 other people that also left their phones on the boat, and we had to wait at the boat launch for them to come and pick them up, including Javon. I mean, Javon left his phone on our boat.
Now he said including Javon, but then he backed it up with Javon left his phone on the boat. So did Javon get his phone from the docks, or did he get his phone from somewhere else? Because if he got it from the docks, then that would suggest that, but I don't mean that though, because he could have called them. But when he said that at first, it could suggest that they all came around the same time and they were still at the dock. He just said they waited by the docks. I don't know at what point Javon got his phone, but that is my biggest question. Like, because he said once, as a matter of fact, there was a female that said that the boat was gone when Javon went back. Pretty much it was gone, but they stayed a couple more hours, so that would put them about 6:30. Javon would have still been on the island. If that's true, he would have still been on the island to see Nolan, but he didn't see Nolan. That's another thing, Javon, and they haven't even questioned him as with his TMZ interview. They had not even questioned Javon about anything. So I wonder if they have since talked to him, because if they ain't talking to him, what are we doing? If Javon was there until 6:30, and this person claiming to see Nolan at 6, he should be able to be able to say, no, that's not true. Because just this island, you're not gonna miss nothing. I don't care what side you're on, you can walk it. Is what it looked like to me.
Yeah, Javon is one of the guys in the friend group.
Yeah,
if I'm not mistaken.
Javon's a friend of mine, friend of ours. Like not as tight as Nolan. Javon's in the class under me in school, and he's a friend of mine. But just like a lot of our other friends, Javon's our friend. He left the phone on the boat because we're trustworthy people. We're not going to steal something. We're not going to delete pictures off of someone's phone. We're not going to delete text messages. We're not going to get on anyone's phone for no reason to. But Javon left his phone, and we gave Javon his phone back along with everybody else who left their phone on the boat. So
you had already left, Morgan, right? You had already.
And that's the one, y'all. You just heard him. Now that's the one that Javon commented on and said that he was not on that boat. He left his phone on that boat because he was hanging out with Nolan. But you know, I don't see him in the picture where Nolan is standing beside the boat, or you know, I don't see nobody familiar really in the water. But to see Nolan only one place, it's just crazy, man. And all the pictures that, well, not one place, but suspected that is Nolan, you can't see his face in none of them. Like that, that's so irritating. Nothing clear. That don't make sense. That's why I'm like, am I being punked? Like, what is going on? This is the weirdest thing. Where's Wyatt and Katie? Exactly, especially Wyatt. That was his buddy. That's the one name that the family did say was close to him and spent the night. Like, where is he? Real quiet. And then he about to say right now about Morgan leaving before they left.
We're not going to get on anyone's phone for no reason to. But Javon left his phone, and we gave Javon his phone back along with everybody else who left their phone on the boat. So
you had already left, Morgan, right? You had already left on the boat. So there's 3 boats. You had already left. You had already left, Morgan, right? You had already left on the boat. So there's 3 boats. You had already left.
Make it make sense. Why did Morgan leave 5 minutes before it happened? Please, can somebody tell me that? Because 5 minutes before that happened, the other fight, it could have been something going on with Nolan. The reason why he left 5 minutes before that. It's too much movement at the same time. 4 o'clock, everything happens, right? Kawinky dinks.
5 minutes before this situation happened, the last 2 boats was Bart's boat and Wyatt's boat, and those are the 2 boats that left out because Bart was kind of towing Wyatt's boat out. So you guys are on the boat.
And a thing to know is that Morgan, it was 2 other people that left with him. Who were those people? Who were they?
What was the conversation?
And why did he leave? Like, why are we only just now hearing about him leaving 5 minutes before? That's crazy.
With Nolan.
I think it might have been said in another one too, because I heard it twice.
Because Nolan obviously had come in on Wyatt's boat. You guys are all getting ready to leave. So what was the communication like with Nolan?
So actually Wyatt was saying, told Nolan, because Nolan's with this girl at this point. They're together. Wyatt looked at Nolan. He was like, dude, come on. The boat's taking on water. We got to go. Like right now. And Nolan didn't want to go. He said he wanted to stay with the girl. And Wyatt started yelling at him. He's like, Nolan, get on the boat now. And Nolan's like, no. And then finally, Wyatt's like, Nolan, get on the effing boat right now.
Who the fuck is, who is he? Like, seriously.
Are leaving right now. And Nolan said he had another ride back. And we had no more time to waste. We got to get the boat out there before it goes under.
Man, get out of here. The boat never went over. It never was under. It never was going under. And they did all this rushing, allegedly, and left Nolan. No, something was already wrong with Nolan. That's why they left. I mean, they just need to be honest about it. That's my opinion. Something happened that made them leave. Something happened to Nolan. Shout out to Miss B in the building. How you doing? Make it make sense. Last phone standing. They said 5 people left their phones. Who were those 5 people? But see, that's the piece right there. Like, no, I mean, Warren keep on bringing up Javon. He done said it about 3 or 4 times because he want a cookie for being the one to call Christine first and all that. But and saying that Javon didn't call as if Javon knew already. But if Javon went and got his phone, where did he get? Where? I just want to know. Who did he get it from? Where did he get it from? How did he get it? Like, did he go to somebody's house to get it? Or did he go to the docks to get it? How many hours later? Did they ask him about Nolan at that time? Because we have the time of 9 o'clock somewhere. I think Trayson said 9:20 was the first call that Warren made to him. I believe Warren called him more than just 9:20 and 11, because he said he called me at 9:20, and then the next time I woke up, my brother was bringing me the phone saying that Warren was on the phone and they was looking for Nolan. Now, meanwhile, the mother is looking for Nolan. She didn't call the phone at 8 o'clock. So that will prompt, and she called again at 8 o'clock. So that will prompt them now to be, trying to get that story straight. I'm gonna have to call her back. So if her first call was 8, he waited until 11. So it took 3 hours to come up with what they was gonna say to her. That's how I'm looking at that. But what the heck did Javon know? Like, when did he get his phone? Because if, say, you pull off, you leave, they leave, your phone is on the boat, first thing you gonna do is go to them to get your phone. You can't reach out to nobody or nothing. So by the time he get around them, they didn't have a conversation about Nolan, or dang, why y'all leave that fast? Where Nolan at? Then even if they would have been like, well, he decided to stay, they didn't think to say, well, here, you want to just take his phone or whatever. They didn't think Javon is his best friend, but allegedly, but I don't know. Things ain't adding up. It's a lot not adding up.
Voting community is so tight knit. It doesn't matter who you are. If someone sees you struggling on the island, no matter the case, they will come and help you. They will do anything in their power to help you and bring you back to the mainland.
Yeah, and they talked that, okay, so people are so helpful out there at the island and all this, but they wasn't helpful. People ain't gonna leave you stranded and all that, but they left Nolan stranded. Without a phone, without shoes on his feet, without his shirt that he had, without his keys and car and whatever property he left at their house that they never bothered to tell the mother about. When they came and got the keys, they did not give them his property from the night before. They did not hand over everything, because the mother texted him later asking about his stuff and asking him what glasses did he have on and stuff.
Example out there, we know another kid who was pretty intoxicated out there, and he couldn't find his boat. And he asked somebody random that he didn't even know if he could catch a ride back with them. And they were like, yeah, got him on the boat, called his parents, told them the situation was going on, and then took him back on inshore.
So I'm glad they said that, because with that being said, and that was Jax, with that being said, everybody's so nice out there. If Nolan needed a ride, somebody would have gave him a ride. So that person that they just mentioned, the drunk person that they just mentioned right there, somebody took him home. Why didn't nobody get Nolan home? Because we damn sure know that Nolan would have wanted to go home. He was new to this island. He only been there a few times. This was their stomping ground. They knew all these people. Nolan didn't.
If he could catch a ride back with them. And they were like, yeah, got him on the boat, called his parents, told them the situation was going on, and then took him back on inshore.
And that happened this time, or is
Exactly. The math ain't mathing. And if they had all the Southern hospitality and tight-knit boating community, they would have been able to catch a ride with any boat later. Exactly. Y'all had to rush off and leave. Your friend left 5 minutes before with 3 people, and then, all of a sudden, the boat is taking in water right after this fight. They just making it sound so chaotic, but trying to make things make sense on why they had to come up with a reason to leave. That's what it was. And it wasn't that pump, because all of a sudden it's working now. So they had to create something for it to happen. Man, in order to make the puzzle pieces match, but it ain't mathing at all. It don't make sense.
Unscrew and look inside the bilge. We unscrewed it. There's so much water in the boat, it started overflowing onto the deck. And so at this point, we're like, okay, this boat's going down. It's going down quick. We don't know where the water's coming in from. We don't know what's going on. And we just go into full on like panic mode. Get this thing out of here now. So we hook up the boats.
No, call Cito.
Okay.
Let's get to that part. Because you call Cito first?
No,
we had the boats hooked up first.
We had the boats hooked up first.
Yeah. Okay.
See? They had the boats hooked up first. So if you had the boats hooked up, you had many boats around you. The boat that had y'all hooked up could get you out of danger. And that's exactly what he did. So why did you call Cito again? It was an alibi. I don't care what nobody say. That's my opinion. That was a freaking alibi. Let's pour it on. Let's add this to it. But then when you listen at that damn call, then you can tell that that's what it is. They hung up before the woman came back to the phone. So, and then he admits that dude, Wyatt, muted the phone, like I said, because we did not hear him say this. So he would have had to mute the phone to say, Cito asking all these dumb questions. How you gonna even think like that? You're sinking. You're going down now, but you calling they questions dumb, like they sending you help. And then you denied the help. Come on, man. They just had to create that. It's about making the puzzle come together. It ain't about being right about it. If you can make these pieces match and line up, then you can get away with it.
Okay.
So we hook up the boats and we start towing them out. He's on the phone with Cito. Because, hold on, let me go back for a second. The electronics completely glitched out. Nothing is working on the boat. There's so much water in there. Nothing is working.
The batteries are also...
The batteries are completely underwater. Like they're yeah.
That's another thing that could affect the GPS. The bilge pump going out is a big part of messing up things. Wait, hold on. Let me see what I got on that. But wait. Okay, so the bilge pump stopped working and the water started to come into the vessel, right? So that situation could potentially be connected to the GPS problems, but not automatically. So it says the bilge pump's job is to remove unwanted water from the inside of the boat. If the pump stopped working and water started accumulating, several different things could happen. Let me make sure I ain't on mute. Okay. Could happen. So if water reached wiring, batteries, fuse panel, switches, or electrical connections, it could cause electrical problems. And we just heard him say all that, right? And because the GPS needs electricity, a loss of electrical power could cause the GPS to turn off, to reboot, or to stop recording the boat's track for a period of time. And I remember Warren saying the battery was completely underwater. There's also another possibility. The bilge pump itself may have stopped working because there was already an electrical problem. So investigators would need to determine which came first. So what it wouldn't normally do is make the GPS invent a completely different trip. What it would not normally do is make the GPS invent a complete different trip. So a power interruption is more likely to produce missing GPS information or a break in the track than to make the GPS falsely show the boat traveling somewhere else. Now, my thing is, if you investigating yourself and you the one fixing everything, who checking behind you? You know what I'm saying? Like, really? So let's see. At the exact time the bilge pump failed and the boat began taking on water, does the GPS record show a gap, a restart, or other interruptions? So, yeah. If those times line up, that's something worth having a marine electronic expert examine. But the timing alone wouldn't prove intentional alternations or even prove the pump failed, caused the GPS interruption. So yeah, it could be manipulated. What we read before, this stuff could be manipulated. Things it could have glitched out. They could have filled in the blanks. I'm just saying, like, why was the girl screaming, "Nolan, get up"? Okay, like even like if you just take the few things before it was enhanced, that's questionable. What are y'all doing? And then the picture they want to show us, this is them taking in water. See, they just fine. I mean, ain't nothing but it don't match what we hear on the audio. It's not matching. I guess it's like we don't really need this shit to make sense. They gonna get away with it anyway. Like, come on, man. Make it make sense.
Everything's fried, basically. So we have it connected, kind of towing them out.
How is everything fried? And then they left and kept going. Like, what?
And he's on the phone with Cito, and he's trying to get them on the phone. And as he stated in the moment, he's like, Cito's just asking all these dumb questions. I can't like figure out what's going on. And so finally hangs up. And after the trim to the motor started to work again. So they manually trim it down by the.
Yeah, he hangs up on the lady. She clicked over to talk to the captain, and they done hung up. And we see why. And you could hear the irritation in his voice. Yeah, what's up? You know, when he in between muting, trying to make sure you don't hear what's going on. Like, this is so frustrating. Like, this is just ridiculous. Shout out to Adorable. Welcome in. Oh, we got a Fisher in the house. Paw probably manually reset that Garmin GPS. Okay, like a lot could have happened. Like, these are people that's been on the water all their life. They know the people that operate the area. Like, they calling folks on their phone. Like, man, listen. The fix is in.
Buttons on the motor, trimmed it down, and some electronics started to come back on. Yep. So
the fix is in, my opinion.
Where are you guys at when this happens? As far as from Horn Island to the mainland, where are you guys at in between there?
So we're probably a mile and a half off of Horn. I'd say a mile of Horn.
To start where the Cito call was, we were probably about a quarter mile.
Yeah.
Quarter mile versus a mile and a half. Which do you believe? Do you believe it was a quarter of a mile or a mile and a half? So the boat had been tampered with so much, and they haven't investigated at anything could have happened. Exactly. Anything could have happened. They also said they filed down the buttons to get it to work. I don't know anything about boats to dissect that quote, but experts should. I didn't hear about that. So they also said they filed down the buttons. Oh, I think I did hear him say something like that, and I just kind of skipped over it. But I don't know what they mean by that.
Off the island, like you can see, it's visible in the picture that you posted. That Wyatt is on the Cito call, and that video of the boat panning of the video of the boat being panned, and you can see everybody in the boat. If you look in the background, the island's right there. So I mean, going back to like what you said earlier, if we killed somebody or hurt somebody, the whole island is literally not even a quarter mile away to sea, with hundreds of boats lined up on the island. So that's really all I have to say about that.
Yeah. So
Okay, so let's see. File down the buttons usually means someone physically shaved or ground down part of a button or switch using a file or a similar tool. So imagine a button sticks up to too far. Filing it down means scraping away some of the plastic material so it sits lower. Like, okay, like filing a fingernail. All right. So depending on what boat equipment you're referring to, that could potentially make a button harder to press, prevent it from being accidentally activated, or alter how a switch operates. So if this phrase was specifically about the bilge pump, the GPS, or the boat involved in Nolan Wells' case, okay. All right.
We were about a quarter mile out.
So we were about a quarter mile out, whatever.
Mm-hmm.
So they pulled the plug out the back of the boat. They have the motor running and everything like that.
That was a great catch too. I think I heard him say it, but I didn't pay no attention. Okay, so Mary said to remove the rust to get a connection. Okay. And then Dwayne said it's a mess. Shout out to everybody in the building. Y'all, please subscribe to the channel and also subscribe. Latoya said make it make sense. Why was a girl screaming? Yeah, I mean, I would love for them to, like, if what we're hearing is not what it is, then tell us what it is. Like, because it's something.
You got to take off. So the boat's having trouble trying to get up, and it's slowly coming up because the weight of the water. Finally, it planes off, and the water gets sucked out the back, and they're full speed running. And then after that, I didn't see them anymore. I think you were on the boat. You start from there.
Yeah. So after we planed off, Wyatt kept the boat pinned the whole way in. We ran into the mouth of Fort Bayou, where we came from originally, and we turned into Fort Bayou, went in the channel, ran probably 500, 600 yards into Fort Bayou. Wyatt jumped out of the boat, put the plug back in the boat so access water. So water didn't keep pushing and filling the boat up. So then we turned around and Wyatt brought the boat to the dock, and that's when I had gotten out and got back in the car. And I didn't drive. A buddy of mine drove me, and we went back to Jax's house.
Jax's house. Okay, so I just want to make this very clear, abundantly clear for the audience. Are you saying that the video that I posted, which is like a 3-second loop. Mm-hmm. Now I have a lot more of the video, but to not expose people that have nothing to do with this, I only posted the smaller part, the 3-second part. Are you saying during that time, a portion of that, Wyatt was on the phone with Cito, so a portion of that is the Cito call, and that Nolan is not on that boat?
Correct.
And that video that's out there is a representation of who was on the boat during that Cito call.
Correct.
So,
I mean, if you listen to the call back.
Okay, so I was looking at this where because I don't know what status they're at right now as far as is this a criminal investigation or not. But usually when they say that this is not a criminal investigation, they are investigating what happened allegedly, but they are not currently treating it as a crime. And then so a criminal investigation may be focused on answering what happened. A non-criminal investigation is usually focused on what happened. A criminal investigation is also asking, was a crime committed? Who may have committed it? What evidence could prove or disprove? And that's a big difference. So if they're not investigating it criminally, they just want to know what happened, but they're not looking at nobody to arrest, or they're not looking for that evidence at all. And also if it's said that a person drowned, then they just trying to make it line up with that. Like, well, we could just say that this will happen. No, even if a person drowned, you still need to know how and where they entered the water at. Because somebody, you can drown if somebody holding your damn head down, you for sure. So you still need to know what happened to the person. But it says, if investigators do not suspect a crime, they may not have the legal basis or investigative reason to use some of the tools commonly associated with a criminal case. Now, if you, and all we hearing is nothing to see here. Like, so what are we expecting out of this? I'm just saying, like, I'm happy that Carmelo Anthony on Nolan's birthday, he got the new judge and a new trial and all that. So that is awesome. He deserves it. He deserved justice. So I'm happy about that. That's one good thing to happen on this sad day of being Nolan's birthday. But that was just ridiculous for that to even go down. The way that they railroaded him. And it's just like, is this what all the courts are going to just blatantly start doing? Because Nolan deserves justice. Something happened to him out there, and they need to find out what happened. And not be trying to make the puzzle pieces fit. I mean, I just hope that some way, somehow, somebody, somewhere is doing it. Because the Ahmaud Arbery case wasn't going nowhere because you had a DA that was protecting the freaking criminals, okay? You had that in that case, but it got cracked and they went down. You hear me? They went down federally and state. Many years, but nobody thought that would ever happen, and it did. So I'm praying that happens with this case. So when something is not being treated as a crime, interview people mainly as witnesses. That's like them. They're being interviewed as witnesses. They not looking at them as they're not suspects. I've heard that come out of a lawyer's mouth or somebody. They're not suspects. They're witnesses, y'all. So interview people mainly as witnesses. Now, if it was treated as a potentially a criminal act, then the conduct details, recorded witness, suspect interviews, you will have all of that. You will have them in an interrogation room. Like, and you would have took all their phones, which I heard them say that their phones were checked and all that stuff, but I don't know. I also heard they had a damn polygraph and then that changed. So I don't know what they did. Okay. If you're not looking to arrest somebody, then you're not going to do certain things. So interviews people mainly as witnesses. So, and then they may request phones. May request phones voluntarily. But if they see you as a criminal, a suspect, they may seek a warrant for your phone and devices. But if you just a witness, can you voluntarily hand over your phone? So not criminal may not immediately seize your vehicle or boat, which nothing has been seized from my understanding. No cadaver dogs were out from my understanding. But if you a suspect, then they may seek authority to seize and preserve them. So as evidence. So we're not seeing that. I don't care what nobody is. We're not seeing that. So they're not doing that at all. They're not looking to arrest these guys. Like, not investigated as a crime, a witness. I'm gonna just say witness. Basic review of relevant locations, just a basic review. Now, if they was a suspect, they will have a detailed crime scene document and evidence collected. As a witness, they may not collect everyone's digital record. You see what I'm saying? So that would mean that they didn't collect everybody's GPS data necessarily. If you a suspect, they may seek your phone records, location data, messages, and cloud records, etc. They gonna open you all the way up. But if you a witness, less reason to perform forensic testing. If you a suspect, forensic testing may be performed when it's relevant. But as a witness, focus on determining circumstances. As a suspect, focus on circumstances as possible criminal responsibility. They're not looking for criminal responsibility in this case. So one thing that is important, police cannot simply search everyone's phone because something suspicious happened. But they can get a search warrant though. So for a search warrant though, investigators generally need facts establishing the required legal justification, using probable cause that evidence of a crime will be found in the place or device they want to search. I mean, after listening to the Cito video, and that should have allowed them to do whatever and however they wanted to, but that's fake to them. Okay. So if investigators genuinely believe no crime occurred, obtaining broad criminal search warrants can become much harder. But not criminal does not mean no investigation. Well, I mean, it may not mean that, but I guess they investigating something. They trying to make the puzzle pieces match. They supposed to be presenting something to the DA. So they got to be looking at something, but this is just sad, man. Let me keep it going. What y'all saying? Lord's willing, really? They don't have the metadata or cloud, etc., the boys or their family, but that's going to be a whole Pandora's box, Lord willing. Exactly. Not an if. You said you don't know if their phones were seized. They 100% were, and Nolan's phones has supposed to be turned over and wasn't by a couple of. Yeah, I know all that. And what makes you think they did though? Because I don't know that. I ain't seen no evidence, paperwork of it. I haven't seen no results from their phone. Like I just said, they voluntarily asked them to hand over their phones. They said they did, but they also said Nolan decided to stay on the damn island with a female, and I don't believe that either. So I don't believe everything somebody tell me. You got to show me. So you can believe, you free to believe whatever you want. I don't believe that shit over here.
Listen to the call back. I mean, there's areas in the call where it's splotchy. It's
on the phone with Cito. So a portion of that is the Cito, a 3-second loop. Mm-hmm. Now I have a lot more of the video, but to not expose people that have nothing to do with this, I only posted the smaller part, the 3-second part. Are you saying during that time, a portion of that, why it was on the phone with Cito, so a portion of that is the Cito call, and that Nolan is not on that boat? Correct. And that video that's out there is a representation of who was on the boat during that Cito call. Correct. So,
I mean, if you listen to the call back, listen to the call back. I mean, there's areas in the call where it's splotchy. It's not direct. Like, it's not like you're sitting from me to you talking to the person on the phone. I mean, you're obviously out on the water. I mean, you can hear it in the Cito call.
Because I think this will address another issue that people have of saying, well, why are they taking pictures if the reception is bad? Can you point out where this picture took place? What is going on with this infamous picture now?
Yep. So whenever we got there, like I said, I wasn't even on the same boat as Nolan. We pull our boat in. Nolan, their boat pulls in, whatever. I get out in the water. I walk over to Nolan's boat, and I'm talking to Nolan for a little bit, whatever. And I put my phone up on the dash. Nolan puts his up there. As Nolan's putting his phone on the dash, he sees an actual little camera that one of the girls that came on the boat brought.
So somebody said they do have the metadata GPS and that camera, man. I'm not sure what you're referring to, but I don't know if they have their metadata GPS. I don't know what you're saying, adorable. I don't know what they got. And I don't know what's legit. When you got people in high places, you can create whatever the hell you want. I mean, that's how I'm looking at it. That's why they want them to do a joint investigation of this phone. Why should they just trust them? They need to be, full transparency. Exactly. Thank you, BFF. Like, get the hell out of here. He put Nolan's phone on a dash. Yeah, he said Nolan put his phone on a dash and then spotted a camera and wanted to take a picture. But why not use your own phone? They taking pictures on the I mean, they're using phones on the island. We literally see that. People in the water with their phones taking pictures. When them guys was face to face in the water, a couple phones was out to record that fight. So people got videos that hopefully they turned over, but it don't seem like they did if they not doing no investigation.
And his first words was, he picks up the camera, he goes, "We got to take a picture." Just like that. And in my mind, I'm like, heck yeah, like, let's take this picture. So that's where you got me and Nolan and one picture. And then as we're taking that picture, Morgan and another buddy of ours come up and they're like, all right, like, let's take a picture all together of us on the front of the boat. We're like, all right, yeah, let's do that. So we got on the front of the boat, and that's where that picture is taken.
So that was it taken from a phone or
no, like an actual little camera.
Okay, and was it taken from?
Now he just said a camera that it comes out. So he talking about one of them Polaroid cameras. That didn't look like it came from a Polaroid camera. And so I don't know. He did say it's from one of those that come out. Did y'all hear him?
The boat, and that's where that picture is taken.
So that was it taken from a phone or
no, like an actual little camera.
Okay, and was it taken from? Yeah. Were people uploading?
So let me see. Sarah said, not of their phones. Their lawyer and the boys lied when they said them voluntarily hand their phones over, etc. Hence, they've been transparent. How is that full when not request the metadata and snap? Exactly. They're not doing a criminal investigation. These people are witnesses. So they're treating them as witnesses. That's what I just read, that they are just asking them surface stuff. They not going deep because they haven't deemed them to be suspects. So they only gonna go so far with it unless other evidence lead them to investigate further, which to us, it should be that damn Cito audio. But they just, that don't exist. That is, and just listening at what I'm going by really what their lawyers are saying. I don't know what these people are doing, but what it feels like is that they're just trying to match the puzzle pieces to drowning and nothing to see here. But their actions show that something is being covered up. When you taking throats and all that stuff, you ain't being transparent with their investigated, like all the stuff that they're doing. If they wasn't acting like this, then people might not feel the way that they feel. But when you got them acting like this and being upset and governors talking shit, it's just crazy, man. It's ridiculous.
I know we talked about the service issue, but were people uploading onto social media?
I mean, you could.
Not really.
You could be
Realistically, you could.
You could.
Exactly, BFF. The whole damn island had their phone out. So to say that, oh, no phones in the water and they creating their own story. Exactly. Facts. He said Nolan left his phone. Man, everybody, it was like they claim it was 5 phones left on their boat. Well, of course, they left, they hauled ass up out of there, didn't care who phone was what. They had to leave, and whatever happened caused Warren to call his mother 8 damn times. Then we know the grandfather called. See, like these adults had their hands all in it. These boys just turned 18 and 19, so it was their parents. It's their parents that's connected. But anybody, you could pick up the phone and call somebody from Cito, and if you listen to Trayston when he was talking confusing as hell, he even said that Cito Coast Guards actually called Warren back because he's like, okay, this them right now, bye. And then he was, because at first he said that Warren had called him on his brother's phone, and then he said that that's another thing. He said he called his phone at 9:20, and then the next time he called, his brother came in his room waking him up, basically. So to me, that means he called him more, because who calls a person phone one time and then calls somebody else's phone? I think Warren called him multiple times, but he didn't say that though. He only told us about one call, and then he say, the next time I got woke up, my brother was handing me the phone saying Nolan was looking for me. But then in the next damn breath, he says that he called him back. He said, now let me get this straight. I called somebody else that was there. They put their phone on speaker and they was able to hear or something like that. And I'm just like, wait, what? Didn't you say Warren called you? Like, why we going back with this? Like, it's a bunch of lies, man. It's a bunch of lies. Oh, it's a mini Polaroid camera. Yep, that's what he said. Yep, and that's the word I was looking for, Polaroid, where it comes out. And but apparently the dash wasn't enough for everyone's phone, including Nolan. So it was put in some safe compartment of the boat, if not mistaken. Oh, I didn't hear that. I just heard him say this part about the dash. Yep. So, right. Yes. Wealthy people make their own narrative and get upset if you don't believe them. Exactly. Like, I don't give a damn how much money you got or what privileges you have. You can't control me, my brain, and what I'm thinking. Like, get the fuck out of here. Money can't buy you that. People had their own mind and opinion. But I'm not accusing nobody of nothing. I'm just saying this show is suspect. And I don't believe it. I think that they should have been treated that way because of the behavior. Like, come on. You create all this chaos all between 3:50 and 4. Like, how many things can happen? Okay, Trayston got into it. His brother got into it. The boat was taking in water and they was calling Cito all at 4? Huh? Because Anna Seymour video started at 4:01. That was the time. She even showed us the timestamp. So we have to look at that. Now her timestamp said 4:01. We still heard arguing, but that Cito call happened at 4. Allegedly. And some people were saying the Cito call was like at 3:48. But either way, like if the fight just ended at 4:01 and we can still hear the commotion and all that, and y'all already on the phone with Cito, it's not adding up. It's created chaos. That's what I see. Created chaos. You can see Bart with his boat full of rescue vests that might have come from those compartments. I did see that. And I actually have that picture. I enhanced it. But here's the original. And I pointed that out. I talked about this. Like, what is that? All of those life jackets in the back of the boat. Yeah, so it got to be something else in the compartments if you take those out. And guess what the other thing is? If you were sinking, you should have those on. Everybody should have. If you in 1731 feet of water, which he said, but his coordinates didn't say that. That's a reason too to investigate. But yeah, if you in 1731 feet of water or whatnot, you definitely gonna want to have a life jacket on, aren't you? You're not gonna be standing on the edge of the boat posing and all this shit we looking at right here, are you? I don't think so. Like, make it make sense. And that's the enhanced version of it. Make it make sense. It don't. But don't believe your lying eyes or ears. It ain't making sense, everything. It just ain't. And you can't make it. They did not think those that Cito video was gonna come out. Cause the place that actually is they dispatch is international. That's what I heard Vicky say. The lady, the dispatch lady. They have a company called International that do they calls. So that would be International that released the video. I don't know. It say Cito on it though, but I don't know. Vicky said from International. This is Vicky from International.
If you're motivated,
she did not say Cito.
Enough to do it, yeah. Like, I made a phone call to my mom, and I had to call her like 8 times before she picked up because either her service was bad, she was on the back side of the aisle on the south side, or my service was bad, and it was just hard to get through. But like, if I went and posted a video on Snapchat, like honestly, I don't think it would like either post or send to somebody. I think
you can't pour syrup on ish and call it honey. Is that what it say? I never heard that before. Interesting. So this is a prime example of no common sense on your side due to you totally missed the boat. What are you talking about? Let me go on and delete that because I don't know who you talking about saying that, but I don't like it. Nolan was unalived on federal land, which makes more federal than state. And they ain't stepped in, have they? BFF, they want us to be, yep, deaf, blind, and dumb. Exactly. Ain't nobody falling for that, man. We got our own mind, and we ain't buying it.
Well, I sent my buddy where we were
our own mind and money. I ain't purchasing it, okay?
I was like, hey, come meet us, and I sent him a video, and he's like, dude, I couldn't get a hold of you all day. And like that explains the point. Like I sent him a video where we were at, and it never sent until I got insured because I had no service. Like we said, we've been out there many times before, and nobody's
like
a buddy of mine. I was like, hey, come meet us, and I sent him a video, and he's like, through. But like if I went and posted a video on Snapchat, like honestly, I don't think it would like either post or send to somebody. I think I sent my buddy where we were at, a buddy of mine. I was like, hey, come meet us, and I sent him a video, and he's like, dude, I couldn't get a hold of you all day. And like that explains the point. Like I sent him a video where we were at, and it never sent until I got insured because I had no service.
I wonder who was that buddy he was allegedly Snapchatting to come up there and meet him. But he couldn't send the video. But then in the first interviews, he was like, he called his mom, he talked to her perfectly fine. But then in this second interview, I called my mom 8 times. She didn't answer her phone. She had bad reception, or either I did. Then you can't send a video, but then later he gonna say that you can. If you want, he gonna say that you can. Make it make sense.
Like we said, we've been out there many times before, and nobody's on their phone out there, first off. And then second off, if you want to take Snapchats and stuff like that, you can, but you're just really going to have to save them to your camera roll and upload them back whenever you get insured, because when you go to send it, it's just going to have an error.
And most guys, when they're out on the island all day, they're really not thinking about posting something on their Snapchat story.
So the phone was taken on like a camera that's not a phone. Yeah. Now, how did that get to you guys, and how did that end up getting to the internet?
So whenever we first realized that Nolan didn't, I'm not going to say didn't. When we first realized we don't know where Nolan's at, the first thing we were trying to figure out, or his mom was, what was he wearing? And so we were trying to remember what color shorts were. We couldn't quite figure that out.
I said black.
Yeah, I think we said black.
I really did. He was wearing navy blue.
Yeah, it was like dark blue shirts.
Dark. I said black because I was trying to piece everything together and help out.
And so at this point, we're freaking out. We don't know where our friend's at. And the girl that took the picture, she was like, okay, well, I just took this picture of today. This is what color swim trunks he was wearing. And his mom asked for that to post on Facebook to say, if you've seen him, whatever, this is what he was wearing. And so that's what we sent her, or that's what she sent her, because we're just trying to help. You know, we weren't trying to cover up anything. We want to know where our friend was just as bad as everybody else.
He said that's what they sent her. Why he saying we if it came from a female? It ain't your picture. So what did he say? Wait.
What he was wearing. And so that's what we sent her, or that's what she sent her, because we're just trying to help. You know, we weren't trying to cover up.
He corrected it. That's what she. Is it we or she? Like, just like we called the Coast Guards, he said.
We want to know where our friend was just as bad as everybody else does. I mean, that was our boy. We want to know worse than everybody else does. And so that's how that.
They just like saying that they like worse or more than something. No, you would never trump the family, his parents.
That picture came about.
And I want to get to the phone situation of Miss Christine, or Miss Wells said online, and I've seen it on the news and everything, as if she had to come and hunt you down to get this phone. Now, I know, Warren, you weren't at the house, and so you weren't there when they came to get the phone.
You said the governor is the judge husband? Nah, I ain't heard that one. Who gonna check her? I did not hear that one. Now, the judge is so you saying Warren's dad is the governor? I don't think so. Shout out to Aunt Alma. She said exactly. When a judge is charged with overreach, it means they step past their lawful power. They made a choice or a rule that belongs to the lawmakers, the voters, or another. Now, what's crazy is the DA is saying that she can't discuss certain things and a certain thing that she can't do, but I know the judge allegedly, because I have ran across a video, a female was saying that she seen her in the comments talking to Tatum, telling him to inbox her. It just seems like a lot of involvement with the judge. But of course, you know, they talking and everybody silent, but I'm sure they backing them, of course. That's their parents, just like Nolan has parents that's fighting for him and trying to get justice for him like they would theirs.
So how did this happen? Because last time we talked, you said you told...
Or like they are theirs, because that's what they doing too.
And I would call it
Would sin goes and all that. I always forget the first. Give sin goes. Would 200K last I heard. I haven't looked at it lately.
Christine, you told Christine that you had Nolan's phone. Like, can you explain that to me? Because I'm confused. I don't know what's what. Did you tell her you had the phone? And when did you tell her?
You ain't the only one confused. Hell, he talking to him for all these hours and he's still damn confused. That's a problem, ain't it? He didn't talk to them longer than anybody and he's still confused.
Told Christine that you had Nolan's phone. Like, can you explain that to me? Because I'm confused. I don't know what's what. Did you tell her you had the phone? And when did you tell her you had the phone if you did?
Okay. So first, we'll start off with what I was saying in Jax, but and if Morgan has something to say, but I want to get this straight. One of the first things I told Miss Christine Wells in the first phone call that ever occurred with anything to do with Nolan Wells being gone, because I was the first person to call Miss Christine about anything. First phone call and anything to do with Nolan Wells was me making a phone call to Christine Wells.
See how he pouring that on, and all of this is to diss Javon.
And one of the first things I said to her, with multiple witnesses here, pull up the phone call if you want. She said, "Oh, well, Nolan's location is with y'all at where the house we were at." And I was like, "Well, no, he left his phone with us." I told her this. She knew.
Yeah, well, it sounded like you told her after she said that. Like, I mean, just like he just explained it. Hell, is that what you said on the phone? That means you didn't say nothing until she told you.
What? She said, "Oh, well, Nolan's location is with y'all at where the house we were at." And I was like, "Well, no, he left his phone with us." I told her this was me making a phone call to Christine Wells. And one of the first things I said to her, with multiple witnesses here, pull up the phone call if you want. She said, "Oh, well, Nolan's location is with y'all at where the house we were at." And I was like, "Well, no, he left his phone with us."
Okay, you said it after her. Now, y'all heard that, right?
Told her this. She knew for a fact that we had his phone, and she knew that I told her, "Yeah, he left."
It's hard for me to keep up with lies too, Alma. I swear. Tatum, I can't stand you, sir. This dude, man, listen. All the things you hear about him. Yep.
On the boat with us, like a bunch of people did. And so I want to make that very clear that I told Miss Christine there was no reason to hide anything. There was no issue regarding the cell phone. She could have came and picked it up, but instead she sent one of her friends to come pick it up. And that's where these things start to get twisted. But no, there was never an issue with the phone. I told them.
That's a complete lie. And she could have came and picked it up herself, but instead she sent a friend, and that's what confused everything. No, she had every freaking right to send somebody. What is she? Can she split herself up? She was trying to report him missing. She using all boots on the ground, all hands on deck. Everybody that you go here, you go there. I'm going to go talk to the police and get a runaround from them. Then finally they met her at a McDonald's in front of Walmart. So she couldn't be everywhere at once. But they don't care. They don't see it that way. They just see her as a problem. Like, that's crazy. That is wild to me. She didn't have to come and get the phone or the keys, and y'all could have just handed them out without the police being called and all that. Just give up his stuff. And then in the midst of that, why not give up his overnight bag and stuff that he left there? Why did she have to text y'all asking for it?
For friends to come pick it up, and that's where these things start to get twisted. But no, there was never an issue with the phone. I told Miss Christine, the first thing I told her was, we have no one's phone, and that's where that ends. There was no issues with the phone or the keys. So I want to make that clear.
So was the keys on the boat with the phone?
No, the keys were at Jackson's house because we all stayed there the night before. I'm sure if I would have left my truck at Jackson's house, I would have left my keys there too. Because if I don't have my car or my truck, then why would I bring my keys on the boat?
And then when they was explaining this the whole time, I'm trying to figure out, okay, so where was the phone? Where was the keys? Were they in the same place? Were they at two different places? Because the way they explain it. But then when Tashima talked, she said that they were both at the same location.
So, there's just no point of bringing it, because if I lose them, then there's more stuff to bring out. Yeah.
Whoever came and get the phone, how did they get in touch with you guys, and how did they get the phone back?
So I got a call from a kid we went to high school with. He called me just asking me questions. He saw people posting on Snapchat, like the picture that was circulating. And he called and he was asking questions. He was like, "Where's Nolan? When's the last time y'all seen him?" And then he was like, "So where are y'all at?" And I told him, I said, "We're at Jackson's house." And then
so I wonder who was that, because we do know that Javon them. I know that when they mother spoke, Tashima, she said she did mention her son. What is it? Javon and Jalen. She did mention that Jalen checked Warren for getting smart with her. So I'm assuming both of them were there. So which one called you? Was it either of them or was it somebody else?
Warren got on the phone, and I don't know.
So they come to my house, right? And they
Hold on, before we get there. Was it confrontational or was it just trying to find? It was confrontational already.
He was 110%. He was very confrontational.
Now you hear them. Now when you heard the first interview and Warren was talking, he didn't make it sound like they are making it sound. He kind of made it sound like everything was smooth and cool and all this stuff. But then they said 100% confrontational. Sarah, you good? You didn't miss too much? Oh, Sarah is back. Police acted faster due to the commotion than Nolan being missing. Exactly. Just like they've arrested 3 people for threats and nobody for threatening Nolan's family has been arrested or even looked for, probably. Ain't that the truth? She was delighting. And they sent the cops. Exactly. We got the dispatch audio over here too. And yeah, they sent the cops. Called and accused them of harassment and all of that stuff.
This was on the night of the 4th.
Yeah, this was this was before they came and got the phone.
So this is the night of the 4th, yes.
Yeah, so you had already.
We also have a call to say that he won't give the keys to her daughter and mother. So the mother and the daughter the keys. So they called the police on them as well. It sounds like Tashima and them called the police on them because they wouldn't give up the keys, claiming that they didn't know where they was at. And they end up finding them. Or Jax 15 minutes later, well, however long it took him to do that. They was on the Xbox. The father had to come and get him. But they had to call the police. So both of them were calling the police. But they was right to. They shouldn't have been trying not to give up the stuff. Like, just give them what they came for.
To Christine.
Correct. Yes.
And then you get a call that was hostile.
Yeah, and then Morgan handed the phone over to me. I was like, "Oh, let me talk to him," because I knew the guy. And I was just like, "Hey, like," he was like, "Where you at? Where you at?" I was like, "We're at Jackson's house." It's like calm down. And then he hung up on me. And then okay, so they pull up to my house, and at this point, I'm kind of freaking out. We're all trying to put our heads together on where Nolan is, and I kind of like isolate myself in my room, just getting a
So this is Jax, whose house they stayed at the night before.
ball and just lose it kind of basically for a few hours. And they just walk into my house, you know.
That's funny. And what exactly did that mean? That he just went in his room and lost it for a few hours? That just mean you went to sleep? Kind of try to make it sound like he was sad or something. Nah, you was just asleep. When they got back, all they did was they ate, slept, and shit. Then they went to parties, multiple parties, from my understanding. Like, what? And your friend ain't nowhere around. Don't nobody know how he getting back. Everybody that would have took him back is gone. Like, make it make sense. Y'all introduced him to the island, so you knew he had no connections out there. He didn't know nobody but y'all out there. They knew everybody. Nolan didn't.
And then, okay, so
make it make sense. So you mean to tell me it was about 30 of them that went on a boat, right? They left possibly because they got into it with a group of people, and Nolan opted to stay, to get jumped, get hurt. And nowhere in them talking are they mentioning that, well, maybe they're not even trying to help us find suspects. They just flat out just making it seem like he drowned. But if y'all know all that went down there, why wouldn't they say that? Why aren't they trying to find new suspects? Why are they only trying to clear themselves? They're not doing anything to help solve the issue because we don't believe he drowned. Okay? They're not doing nothing to help. That's what I'm saying. Like, is this your friend or not?
they pull up to my house. And at this point, I'm kind of freaking out. We're all trying to put our heads together on where Nolan is. And I kind of like isolate myself in my room, just kind of getting a ball and just lose it kind of basically for a few hours. And they just walk into my house, you know. And I hear all
just got in a ball and lost it for a couple hours. No, you was damn drunk and sleep, because we got a picture of him foaming out at the mouth with whatever the hell he was drinking out there that day. So we know that he was losing it on that seltzer or whatever he was out there drinking. He the only one that I've seen that had whatever he was drinking all on his mouth, coming down his stomach, chest, all that. So, yeah, I would say he was passed out drunk. What y'all think? It's my opinion.
this commotion going on in the living room, and I'm just like, what in the world is going on? So I walk out there, and there's probably like 10, 15 people in my house I don't even know. And they're all up in our faces, going crazy, asking where Nolan is, and we don't know. And finally they get into Wyatt's face, and they're like, where's your boat? Where's the boat at? Demanding his address and stuff like that. And he finally ends up giving it to him. And then let me go ahead and say that while they're there, we give them the phone. They have the phone at this point. Then they get the address to his house. Then they go to his house. And they're searching all over his boat, what I heard and stuff like that. Well, anyways, I don't really know much about that. But they come back to my house at around 1 o'clock in the morning. And it's his dad this time. And his dad's being really respectable, really, really nice to me and stuff like that. And as long as another friend of theirs. And he's asking me, like, where the keys at? I don't even know where Nolan's keys are at in my house.
And we remember that he was saying he was trying to calm everybody down that was already there. He was like, that would have been another issue. I'm trying to get them up out the house. I need them to trust me and do this. Don't do this to me or whatever. He was saying all that. And so he was kind of strategizing on trying to be calm and nice so he could get what he came there for. And he was trying to calm the guys down that was there. I do remember him saying that.
So you know how hard it is to find a set of keys in a house and you don't even know where to start? It's pretty hard. So I start scrambling around my house looking.
Damn, how junky is your house? How big is the house? I mean, like, it shouldn't be hard. You have a guest at your house, right? Usually when you have a guest at your house, there's one central location that guest is going to have access to. And it's probably going to be your room, or if you got a guest room somewhere. So you would check those two spots. You invite somebody over. If this your grandparents' house, which I don't know, because it was an apartment and a house that they was going to in these dispatch calls. But yeah, if it was in your room on your Xbox, surely you should have seen that, unless you was drunk as hell when you went into the room and didn't know. Then you woke up in oblivion because everybody was over there. It was a different boat.
There's stuff everywhere. Keep in mind, all these people stayed the night in my house before. I'm looking through everything. I can't find the keys. I run back to his father or his stepfather,
And that was shade right there too, because they never said that he was a stepdad, and he actually been there for years. Nolan was a young kid with that guy, with his stepdad or whatever, which he just said. But somebody said, right, they're not doing nothing to try to help find out what happened to their best friend, just worried about their selves. Exactly. And it's crazy that nobody around them see that and put a stop to it. Exactly, because I guess everybody is in on it. Yes, please comment and subscribe, y'all. Please make sure y'all hit that like button and make sure y'all subscribe, and also tap into my short shelf, because I do shorts multiple times a day, and it's a lot of information in those little 3-minute clips. So they are the ones being the most withholding. So no, they aren't trying to help their so-called friend. Exactly. Like, why haven't we heard that? All they trying to do is clear themselves. And then why haven't the people that they were allegedly boxing with out there come forward? Why haven't they said anything? You know what I'm saying? Like, do these people even exist? Because some people, the one Matthew guy said that they was fighting amongst each other, and I believe that. I believe it because the way they tell what Wyatt was saying to Nolan, the way he called him to the boat, and what he said when they were looking for Nolan, allegedly, when they first found out he was missing. Wyatt sounded like he had an attitude. Then Tashima said he was getting fly at the mouth. He the one with the attitude. Why is that? But he seems to be the closest to Nolan, besides Warren.
And I was like, I don't know where the keys are. And the guy sitting next to him texting somebody. I guess I was at my house, and he said that they're on the Xbox. So I run in, I see him on the Xbox, grab him off the Xbox, and I go and hand it to him. He's playing.
Was the Xbox in your room? You didn't walk past him in the first place? Somebody, he lost it in a ball in his room. Like, that didn't have nothing to do with Nolan. That was before they even knew the people was coming. And I think that they was oblivious and didn't know that was gonna happen, because they didn't know that Nolan's mom had Life 360. They didn't know that. They did not know that. She see everywhere that phone went.
Simple, didn't even take 30 seconds. No trouble at all. So
this narrative that they're pushing, that there was any argument over the phone or the keys, is completely false. Like, let's get that clear.
Yeah.
Okay.
So
and that's what's so crazy. How do you say that when we know that the police was called, and we know that y'all was calling them, and we know that they seen their location going to Wyatt House? Which, hell, you knew they was going. You just gave them your address, or your parents' address. They go over there, you see them on the GPS, because they all tracking each other. So I wonder who was that? Who was the friend? I mean, you would think it's Javon, because they keep talking about him, but I don't know. I don't know who they was tracking, because Javon wasn't hanging with them like that. And I remember him saying on the TMZ interview, he was like, they was real. He was always with them. I was thinking everything was cool. You know what I'm saying? Like, and then even Warren was like, well, Javon wasn't as close as Nolan was. Obviously, they didn't even leave room for him to be on the boat. Ain't no room for you. So I don't know. It's a good thing that he wasn't on the boat. Probably something would have happened to him too.
House, taking pictures of all the cars, license plate in the driveway, stuff like that. And so,
how many people are here this time?
Like 15.
15 people that you don't know.
They had 4 or 5 vehicles. I mean, I knew some of them.
They put up deep 4-5 vehicles. They out there in the driveway taking pictures, license plates. Yeah, because they doing their own investigation. And that was smart too, because they can say they know who all was there if they turn that over to somebody else that can investigate further. So they'll be able to lock down whose cars was there. Hey, they was on it. They was boots on the ground, flat out. So the guy said, you haven't done nothing. You acting suspicious, trying to convince every food to believe you haven't done anything to cover up something. Exactly, man. First of all, the truth don't need no convincing. And the truth don't change. And they're Warren for the show, because this is his second interview. This is these guys first. His tone has changed. He changed it in the same damn sentence. Like, it's really hard to keep up with lies for me, but I'm catching them, because when something is confusing, it's a lie.
Period. With, and then some of them I just didn't know.
He searched Wyatt's boat.
Yeah, they went and searched Wyatt's boat.
Like we were hiding Nolan in his boat or something. Like what is wrong?
Yeah,
like
what the hell? That is not unheard of. He disappeared. He wasn't on the island. He wasn't nowhere on the island when his dad came looking for him, his parents. And then he was. So yeah, and they're saying, hell, that one guy, the captain caught a 323-pound fish on a boat, and it was plenty of room for it. You hear me? So those compartments are deep, and the boat, the bottom of the boat, period, they could just sit there, like according to the pictures I was seeing.
So we called law enforcement. I was with Wyatt at the time. After we left Jackson's house at night, I was with Wyatt, and one person we were with saw that their location was headed towards Wyatt's house. And so Wyatt got on the phone with 911 and was like, "Hey, these people are on the way to my house, or already at my house. My mom and my dad are there alone, and they know nothing about this." But Wyatt's mom actually, when they were looking at the boat, they were actually walking from the boat, and she came out and started talking to them at that point. But
did the police get involved in some degree here?
Yes, that's what I'm about to get into.
So why didn't Wyatt inform his parents? And when they were talking about the guy that was on the island that was drunk and needed a ride from somebody else, which is crazy, because that would mean that whoever he was with left him, right? So he needed another ride. Hold on, y'all. Let me let this play. I gotta do something.
They were at my house hanging out, just hanging out in my front yard. Finally, they wouldn't leave. And one of the people there came up and started banging on the door again for whatever reason, I don't know. My brother actually had to call the cops. And I think they came around 2:00 in the morning and removed them from our property. And after that, we really haven't spoken to them since. But yeah, we had to call the cops to make them leave.
The cops came, you told them to leave. And then is there anything else that you addressed with the cops while they were there?
Yeah, so the cops were asking me why these people are at my house in the first place. And I told them straight up, we don't know where our friend is at. I don't know where my best friend's at. These people don't know where their friend's at. We're trying to figure it out. And they're basically assuming that we did something to our friend, which we didn't. And he said, okay, just taking notes, and then remove them from there.
I know some of these people, and these people are like good people.
Yeah.
And I went to high school with these guys. Like, they know me and I know them, and they know my friends and they know them. This wasn't about race. They just knew for a fact that no one went on the boat with us. Yeah. They were worked up, and that's okay. And they were mad, but that wasn't handling things. That wasn't trying to help. You getting mad isn't helping anything. But instead of solving the problem and trying to figure out, hey, where is Nolan? They were just getting pissed off and not handling things the right way. And I mean, that's what happened.
You ended up going and looking for Nolan the next morning, but you said you were thinking about doing it that night.
Yes.
And why didn't you do it that night?
So we already called the Coast Guard at this point. We didn't have access to a boat that was already in the water ready to go, other than one that I'm just not allowed to use at all. And I was still this close to taking it out. I mean, I was right there.
For Nolan.
So me, Wyatt, and Trayson got in the boat. We got in the Palm Beach that morning, the morning after, and we rode out to the islands, and we were met by DMR. It was 7 DMR boats already out there, DMR and park rangers. We talked to them. We gave them all of our information. They personally asked if any of us were on the boat with him that day. We told them yes. They just said, all right, well, I mean, we got the area scoped out. I mean, and then after that, we just went up to the beach. I think we met up with y'all in the water.
I took my boat out with Jax. Yeah. Couple of friends of mine, and then my mom and my stepdad.
Oh, they were out there too with you?
Correct. And I just met Morgan and Wyatt and Trayson and his girlfriend out there. And we actually, when I rolled up, I parked up next to Morgan. Everybody was with him. And I was like, well, y'all can run around, or we all planned it out. Morgan was going to run around the south side while we covered the north side. And we were just going to try to take us, cover as much ground as possible. But I mean, there were so many DMR boats and helicopters and drones and everything else out there. I don't really know what an 18 and a 25-foot bay boat is really going to do. So, I mean, we sat out there, we went for a couple hours, we looked around and we searched, but we also don't fit the requirement that DMR has, and the tools that DMR and United Cajun Navy and all these departments have to look for somebody. We didn't put that much of a help out. But yes, of course, we went out there and looked for a friend. That's not a question.
Who else in the friend group was out there? Did you see Nolan's family? Did you see some of the other kids that showed up at your house? You see anybody else out there?
We did see, we met up with a coach that was previously Nolan's high school coach. We met up with him. They said that they had previously already been on the island. They walked a good bit down the island both ways, and they were just driving around the island like we were doing. And we eventually got off the island. We got on this rip current. It was going west out towards like Ship Island and then back towards Biloxi. And we drove that for a couple miles. People were also looking on that too. There was multiple boats out there not associated with DMR with binoculars. There was people fishing the rip, and we asked them, like, they rode it all the way from Ocean Springs all the way out to Horn Island, and we were like, did you see anything, blah blah blah? Because I mean, if a person is floating in the water, treading water, they are going to be most likely in the rip, and that all comes into play with the washing machine. I mean, you got
Horn Island, the washing machine for me.
Horn Island and Ship Island. I mean, they come like this, and then there's no island right here, so it just tons of water flows through. The tide goes out. I mean, sometimes it gets pretty gnarly in there, and it creates this big old pool, basically. Yeah. And I mean, if someone was floating, treading water out in the water, that's where they would be. They could be hung up. They could grab onto a log and float with a piece of driftwood or something, or they could find a channel marker or a buoy and grab onto that. So I mean, there was just main keys that you search for, like when you're trying to search for a missing person that has to do with water. And I mean, it's either the island, the buoys, or the rip. And then after that, there's not really anything else you can do, seriously. So as soon as we got off the water from searching for Nolan,
which is on the day of the 5th?
Yeah, the 5th. As soon as we got off the water, I got a phone call. I believe he got a phone call too.
I got a phone call while we were out there.
I got a phone call too as well. So basically what it was saying was, hey, take a few questions over the phone, answer the questions, and then they had a date for us to come in for actual questioning. Okay. And mine was the 6th, there's like the next day or something like that, you know. I think theirs was 2.
I believe mine was the 7th. I would like to say, but not for sure.
Mine was around.
Like we all cooperated fully. It's not like we had something.
Yeah, full cooperation from the start.
Yeah.
Really.
So how deep did they go in this interview with you guys?
Oh, that's.
Oh, I mean, they asked, I mean,
how long was the interview? Like, was it
an hour and a half? I dotted everywhere. I crossed everything. I told my friends, like, listen, go in there and like say every detail, like even what you like ate for breakfast that morning. It doesn't matter everything you have, because like anything could help. You literally never know. And like it's what we all did. Like we all cooperated. We all wanted to help. We all did everything that we could to help. Like regarding this situation, it's not like we just like. I could say personally, I started my story from the night before. Yeah, I started whenever I got off work on Friday. I started my story from last 5th of July. Like she was like, all right, take me back to day 1. And I was like, all right, I mean, we've been talking about this since the 5th of July last year. Like what we're going to do, like how we're going to make this better, how we're going to make this funner. Like,
as far as the investigation is concerned, did you guys give your phones over to investigators?
Yes, we gave our phones over free willingly. It's our choice just to give our phones over, let them look through them, whatever they want to do, and we got them back.
We have nothing to hide. We wanted to be fully transparent with, you know, the sheriff's department, everybody else including the FBI, and you know, anything to do with justice. We wanted to help out, and that's what we did. We gave our phones up, and like Jack said, we literally have nothing to hide.
Yeah, and everybody gave their phones up.
Correct.
To be forensically evaluated by the FBI.
Yes, sir.
Okay. What's your thoughts on Miss Christine saying things?
So they claim they turned the phones over to be examined, but he also said that they gave them back, and it sounded like they gave them right back. He didn't put a date on when they gave them back. And my bad, I had to go do something, and I forgot what the heck I was even saying before I left. But yeah, I gotta get off of here soon because I got things to do.
These may have been deleted.
My thought is that's a blatant lie. I know for a fact that this is the thing. We have no reason to get on Nolan's phone. I have no reason to get on any of my friends' phones.
And then he just literally...
If I had a reason to get on Nolan's phone, I wouldn't be able to get on it because I don't know Nolan's password.
Thoughts on Miss Christine saying things may have been deleted?
My thought is that's a blatant lie.
Flat out. He been the most disrespectful about the mother. Like she's not supposed to... All of them really, when they comparing talking about she was all about the race and all of that stuff when she's genuinely looking for her son.
I know for a fact that this is the thing. We have no reason to get on Nolan's phone. I have no reason to get on any of my friends' phones. If I had a reason to get on Nolan's phone, I wouldn't be able to get on it because I don't know Nolan's password. I don't know any of my friends' passwords. If I handed Jack's my phone right now, he wouldn't be able to get on my phone. I have nothing.
I'd have him permanently locked out of that thing.
Correct. I have no idea how to get on Nolan's phone to delete anything. But in the first place, we have nothing to delete on Nolan's phone. Like, I don't know what this, because Nolan didn't take Snapchats that day. That means things were deleted.
He's just living in the moment.
We were just living in the moment like every guy on the planet Earth does. I mean, like, I'm not sitting here filming the whole day. And I get Nolan, I took a lot of pictures, but.
I mean, right. It's so, it wasn't, they wasn't evaluated. If you're talking about the phones, it don't seem like it, because for him to say that, it's like, it sounded like they hand them right back. So what did they do? What can you do with the naked eye? Did they do a dump on their phones? Like, I don't know. I mean, we don't know what they investigated, but just from the actions of everybody, they just trying to make the puzzle pieces match a drowning.
Just because no one didn't take me.
And whatever information they got, like the GPS, like we heard their defamation lawyer say 4:30 and 6 is all they worried about. If they got the GPS that said they was gone at 4:30, but what GPS? Just on the alleged boat that was sinking? Yeah, that's what my guess is. What about the Palm Beach that left 5 minutes before with 3 people on it? Maybe Nolan was on that one. Maybe he was stored somewhere. Like people are saying, one person was like he was in a area somewhere that was messy. And then we hear Jax talking about how messy his place is or whatever. And I mean, I don't know. I just know that this story that they're telling, we ain't buying it. It don't make sense. Nothing about this story is adding up. And too many things happen at the same damn time. And you're not going to tell me out of 1,000 people, only 2 people seen him after 6. If Javon was still there, and he didn't see you. Make it make sense. But that's one thing to know. What time did he leave? I don't know. But it was said that he was there a couple hours after them. I don't know. But he rode with neighbors and we see it. Y'all share each other location, but can't get in each other's phones. Exactly. And that's too much. Like sharing your location with a bunch of people. I know that's like a newer thing with some people do that, but that's a lot. What you need to know my damn location for? Like, I mean, for what? Everybody in a friends group need your location? I mean, I don't think so.
Pictures from July 3rd to July 4th doesn't mean we deleted something. No one just didn't take pictures, and that's perfectly fine. I have one video in my camera roll saved from the 4th of July. So
you're not gonna tell me that Nolan didn't want to take pictures, but then tell us that soon as they got there and they was putting their phones on the dash, he wanted to. Oh, we gotta take a picture. He would have wanted to take pictures all through that day. Yes, he would have. If he's a picture taker, he's gonna take pictures every time something jump off. Shout out to something one for the 100 jewels. Thank you so much, fam. I appreciate that. Y'all, please smack the thumbs up and subscribe if you have not, and hype this up after the video. I mean, y'all playing Xbox and your best friend is missing. I do not understand why these people is not arrested, man. It's crazy. They basically screaming to the top of the raptures, we did something. Well, when you got people in high places that is all up in this and they know everybody and all this, man, listen. I'm talking about you got people that run this little town. I mean, what's the population of Ocean Springs? This sounds like a small, tight-knit community. Let's let them keep talking.
Nobody wants to know what happened to him more than we do. I mean, we want to know what happened to our best friend more than anybody, and I promise you that.
No, you don't.
I just want to say thank you to everybody who's like sat here and supported us through this horrible moment. I mean, we're still teenagers at the end of the day, and for the internet to come and people to come and accuse you of killing your best friend, it's a horrible thing. And I know no one wouldn't want this. And it's terrible that.
So Ocean Springs, Mississippi, the city has roughly 18 to 19,000 people. In 2020, U.S. Census counted 18,429 people in Ocean Springs. More recent census estimates about 1,900. So yeah, everybody know everybody in that small little community, and they tighten it just like old boy said. And you don't really want to mess with the pharmacists, the therapists, the doctors, the lawyers, the police. And these people is connected to all of them. The Coast Guards, all that, allegedly. They know a lot of people. I mean, this is what I'm learning with this case. That's what we listening to, right? Yep. 19, yep. Exactly. It is a small coastal community. Yep. It's a witness who said her son snapped Nolan when he heard he was missing. So, I did hear about that. So, And the mother was like, she didn't know what made him do it and all that. No pictures, no video, no snaps, nothing. Makes no sense. And the only picture he got comes from a damn camera, a Polaroid. What? Really? In 2026?
It's coming to this. It's coming to a race battle. But, you know, I want everybody to know how much we appreciate the support, and that my friends and I literally sit there and pray for everybody who's sitting here and sending this hate on everybody. Like,
anyway, Nolan's mom says she had a whole damn conversation with her granny out there searching for Nolan that day, uninterrupted. It worked just fine. We seen people out there in the water with the phones on freaking selfie sticks and all kind of stuff. Like, what? But they couldn't use their phone. And then where's they pictures at? You heard Nolan say, you heard Warren say that he took a video and sent it to his friend and told him to come and meet them. So you've been out there all your life. What made you send a video if you knew it wasn't going to send? Surely you would know that it wasn't going to work, right? So make it make sense. We all saw with our own eyes Nolan's hand or leg come up when they were pulling the boat. Shout out to Boombastic. It looked real suspect. And if it ain't what we saying, what we see, then tell us what it is, because this is coming directly from their video that they sent their interviewer. Okay. He called his mom 8 times. Then he actually did. In his first interview, he said he called his mom and talked to her just fine. The second interview, he said he called his mom 8 times. She didn't answer. Either her signal was bad or his. Yeah. He sure did.
My friends are really upset about this, and so am I. That, like, this has turned into this huge thing. So, you know, I just want people to know that, you know, we're praying for people.
They took his phone because they were so scared at what had happened, allegedly, that they had to haul ass up out of there. That's why I'm like, but they want us to believe that they besties stayed and wanted to stay after being seen with y'all. Whoever was after y'all would have been after him, right? Because they left because of the fight. That's why they left. But why did Morgan leave 5 minutes before with 2 other people? And who was the 2 other people that he left with?
Our faith of the Lord strong, and you know we're gonna make it through this regardless of what people say about us. Yeah, I just want to say one more thing. Nolan is turning his grave right now. This is the last thing he would ever want his friends to be going through. Yeah, like the absolute last.
You welcome. It's just wild, man. In my opinion, I believe they stored Nolan at the bottom of the boat with ice, like when they stored the fish with ice. That's crazy, because we know that they did go load the boat with ice and all that right before they went. And I just found that to be odd when he said that they all spent the night at Jack's house, right? That's what they said. But we know Nolan did. But then he said he gets up, him and Wyatt, and they met Bart and all this. I'm like, where was Nolan when they were doing that? And then I said to myself, like, if I didn't see a picture of Nolan or people or see him on that camera getting on a boat, I would think maybe something happened to him the night on the 3rd. You know what I'm saying? But now it's coming out, oh, these pictures are altered, or these pictures might be fake. The only thing that make me really believe that he was there is Javon. Now, if we can't believe Javon, then that's a problem. But that's the only thing I really want to hear from Javon. Like, at what point did he know? Where did he get his phone from? Who and how did he retrieve it? And what did he know about Nolan being missing? Because his mom called him and he was oblivious to it. And that was when everybody found out. But if he was around these guys early on, I just really want to know that. I really want to know that. And his mother she is boxing everybody on social media about him. I ran into some stuff today. She going in. She ain't playing about her son, but that is something that I would like to know. But I ain't accusing nobody of nothing. With these guys, I'm saying what they saying don't make sense. They reason for leaving is shady, and too many things happening at once, and too many people left, and nobody knows nothing. Nobody. How did he just vanish in thin air? Now we seen him at 6. That's why in the one photo show the life vests in a pile above the deck. Exactly. It's a bunch of life jackets just out there chilling. And for what? Like what they definitely would have had to take something out. Like, but you're sinking right now though, so they should be on your ass. You know what I'm saying? Like everybody should have one of those vests on right now, right? Yeah. Please subscribe and press that notification bell and thumbs up. Please subscribe and press that notification bell and thumbs up. Please
lock his ass up. Lock his ass up. You're going to jail. You're going to jail. Lock his ass up. Lock his ass up.
Something gotta give, man. The reason the guys are being accused is because they're LOL sick. Wait, what? Get out of here, man. That's why your comment got held. That's why they being accused. Like, it's all the way switched. Maybe Nolan was under the whole pile of jackets. Exactly. Very well could have been. But also they saying that it's enough space in them compartments that he could have been in. They be catching sharks out there. Hell. The captain caught a big swordfish that was so long and 323 pounds on a boat.
He's gosh, he would not want any of this. He wouldn't want this publicity. The fact that we couldn't even go to our best friend's funeral because one, we didn't want to take the attention away from him. I mean, that was his day. We didn't want to do that. And the fact that we couldn't even go to our best friend's funeral is horrible. That's something we got to live with.
You know, some of our lives. You say you couldn't go. Can you explain that a little more? Were you told that you couldn't go, or was it something that you derived from the feedback that you've been getting from the family? What made you ultimately make the decision not to go to the funeral?
So it was a little bit of both. It was one. Well, at first we had our heads down. We're like, we're going to go. We want to go. This is the last time we ever get to see our best friend. We're going to go. And then as soon as we made up our minds with that, everybody was like, no, you're not. No, you're not. No, you are not. You are going to either get jumped, hurt, something bad's going to happen to you at that funeral. And then on top of that, they point out another fact that we're going to take the attention away from him. That's the last thing we want to do.
Yeah, 100%. Like they both said, like Nolan's like a brother to us. And now me and all my friends have to live with. Imagine you were 19 years old and your best friend just died. And now the whole internet's accusing you of killing him. And on top of that, you can't go to his funeral and say your last goodbyes to one of your best friends. Because regardless, and we're in Jacksonville the same way, and so does White, everybody else. I can speak on their behalf about this. Regardless about what the internet says about our relationship with Nolan, we know from the bottom of our heart who Nolan was to us and who we were to Nolan. And at the end of the day, I can say this confidently. We were Nolan's closest friends, and we were Nolan's best friends. And this isn't a competition. I know a bunch of guys that were best friends with Nolan too.
He said we were Nolan's best friends, not Nolan was our best friend. I don't know. That sound a little switched. It kind of, in some of the times when they talking, sound like Nolan is just trying to beat a friend, trying to hang out with him and all that.
And at the end of the day, I can say this confidently. We were Nolan's closest friends, and we were Nolan's best friends. And this isn't a competition. I know a bunch of guys.
We were his closest friends and best friends. But not he was our closest friend and best friend. Like, what?
That were best friends with Nolan too. Like Javon and him. Javon and Nolan were like brothers too, but isn't it to take attention away from them? But this was a brotherhood. Like this was my brother. And for someone to take away, and the internet to take away our privileges to go to his funeral because they think this was a racial thing is absolutely horrible. And like we all feel that way. Like it's sick. Like seriously, it's absolutely sick.
So Warren is
I think it's kind of
Warren is their spokesperson, okay? And I mean it's just wild how things is just flipped. It's just flipped. They the victims. You know what I'm saying? Everybody is wrong for thinking what they thinking about them, even though they are acting damn suspicious. I mean, you can't get mad at us. Correct what you're doing. Hold on, let me see something right quick. Wait, how do I? Oh, okay. Dang, really? So I gotta go all the way down here. Y'all, please smack the thumbs up. Hold on, y'all. Let me pull this up.
conversation between the captain and the grandfather. I wondered if so a question was posed, who owns the Cito company? And where's the conversation between the captain and the grandfather? I wondered if that call was off the record, like the Coast Guard call appears to be. And you can see right there, Cito South, it runs in the family. And it was already stated, the captain that we could hear is the son of the owner.
This is Captain Seth.
Hi, Captain Seth. This is Vicky from International. How you doing today?
Doing good. How are you? Do you know what kind of boat it is?
He said a Triton 24 footer, but that's all he can give me.
Okay. All right. Yeah, I just actually got off the
Posed, who owns the So a question was posed, who owns the Cito company? And where's the conversation between the captain and the grandfather? I wondered if that call was off the record, like the Coast Guard call appears to be. And you can see right there, Cito South, it runs in the family. And it was already stated, the captain that we could hear is the son of the owner.
This is Captain Seth.
Hi, Captain Seth. This is Vicky from International. How you doing today?
Doing good. How are you? Do you know what kind of boat it is?
He said a Triton 24 footer, but that's all he can give me.
Okay. All right. Yeah, I just actually got off the phone with his grandpa, who I'm guessing is the owner of the boat. And he said,
okay.
I just hung up with him. He said that they don't need any help right now, but if something changes, they'll call me back. So I'm guessing that they may have figured it out, because they're in a panic and their boat won't crank.
Yeah, they're in a panic. He's saying the Bilge is not keeping up. I asked for Coast Guard. He said no, but he's just really upset on the back end. And, I get it, the kid. He just doesn't understand.
Okay. Do you still have him on the line?
Yes, I still have him on the line. And again, I couldn't find, he couldn't give me anything regarding his grandfather's, membership, so it's just under fee for service.
Okay. All right. Yeah, I just talked to, if you want to, we're so tied up right now. We can't really do any non-member jobs right now.
Is he a member? Did you find out if he was a member or not?
Yeah, but I'm not sure if it's his boat or what. I'm not sure what's going on with it. So yeah, transfer the kid over. I'll talk to him, and then I'll call his grandpa back as well.
Hello? Hello? Are you there? I apologize. I will be disconnecting due to lack of response.
And so at this point, we're like, okay, this boat's going down. It's going down quick. We don't know where the water's coming in from. We don't know what's going on. And we just go into full on panic mode. Get this thing out of here now. So we hook up the boats.
No, call Cito.
Okay.
Let's get to that part. Because you called Cito first?
No.
We had the boats hooked up first.
We had the boats hooked up first.
Yeah, okay.
If the boats were already hooked up, again, why did they call Cito?
Okay.
So we hook up the boats and we start towing them out. He's on the phone with Cito. Because, hold on, let me go back for a second. The electronics completely glitched out. Nothing is working on the boat. There's so much water in there. Nothing is working.
The batteries are also...
The batteries are completely underwater. Like they're everything's fried basically. So we have it connected, kind of towing him out, and he's on the phone with Cito, and he's trying to get them on the phone. And as he stated in a moment, he's like, Cito's just asking all these dumb questions. I can't figure out what's going on.
So let me get this straight. He calls Cito for their help, and he tells them, we're going down, we're sinking. Can you please come help? Yet you think they're asking dumb questions. Sounds like the help was never needed. I'm just saying. And here's the Captain Seth right here. And it says he's been a captain at Cito for many years. He caught a
That's the big one I'm talking about right there.
massive 323-pound swordfish. It's also been said that Cito was out there on the 4th of July, per the caption of this video. And this video appears to be brought to you by Cito South, Mississippi.
Now make that make sense. They was actually out there on the island allegedly, and right there to assist, and they didn't need help. Very interesting. And they was on the end by where the grandfather, the grandfather, they showed his boat.
Every time I see this, I cannot help but crack up now. Period. Till the end of time, I will laugh when I see this. You know what I mean? Because you know why, don't you, Shirley? Right here at the bottom, because of the shadows, where it shows stumps, because they're on a fishing trip that day. See the murky water in the front? That's because they were fishing. In the back, it was all pretty blue. See? This is from a day out fishing. This is not from the 4th of July.
Leave it in the comments. Let me know what you think. Click on my picture to get to a full video, live stream, or short.
And if you notice, I have 127 shorts of Nolan. So if you haven't checked out the short shelf, please make sure you do. And then I'm going to go to... these are the latest ones, but check out the short shelf for sure.
Text messages were just released between Nolan's mom and Warren.
No, I didn't talk to her once. It was 12:30. I might have texted her a couple times and talked briefly about a couple things.
Now, first of all, I thought that Nolan's dad showed up unannounced, as the way Warren and them told the story. Here's a text message, July 5th, 2 a.m. Nolan's dad is out the house to pick up the key. Remember, he was trying to get the key from Jax. He said Jax couldn't find it, or it was taking forever. Then somebody else found it, and he didn't trust Jax after that.
No trouble at all. So
this narrative that they're pushing, that there was any argument over the phone or the keys, is completely false. Like, let's get that clear.
I wonder, what does he consider trouble? Interesting, he calls this a narrative.
And RP said they were trying to get keys to vehicles that a male was refusing to give them to her and her daughter. Dispatch could hear them yelling in the background. RP did say that it's almost physical, but not physical yet.
She could have came and picked it up, but instead she sent one of her friends to come pick it up. And
Why did she need to pick it up? She was busy reporting Nolan missing. She needed all hands on deck. She's only one person.
that's where these things start to get twisted. But no, there was never an issue with the phone. I told Mr. Christine when the first thing I told her was, we had no phone, and that's where that ends. There was no issues with the phone or the keys. So I want to make that clear.
they come back to my house at around 1 o'clock in the morning, and it's his dad this time. And his dad being really respectable, really nice to me and stuff like that. And as long as another friend of theirs, and he's asking me, like, where the keys at? I don't even know where no one's keys are at my house. You know how hard it is to find the keys in a house? And you don't know where to start? It's pretty hard. So I start scrambling around my house, looking at stuff everywhere. Keep in mind, all these people say I've been in the house before. I'm looking through everything. I can't find the keys. I run back to his father or stepfather, and I was like, I don't know where the keys are. And the guy standing next to him was texting somebody. I guess I was at my house, and he said that they're on the Xbox. So I run in, see him on the Xbox, grab him off the Xbox, and I go and hand it to him. It's plain and simple. It didn't even take 30 seconds.
So then here's the next one. That day in the afternoon, hey, Warren, what kind of sunglasses did Nolan wear? I'm pretty sure Ray-Bans, Mrs. Christine. This is Warren. Then Warren says, hey, Miss Christine, just wanted to check in. We went out this morning to look, and I've been off the phone with Jackson County Sheriff's Office today. If you need anything at all, please don't hesitate to reach out.
So as soon as we got off the water from searching for Nolan,
which is on the day of the 5th?
Yeah, the 5th. As soon as we got off the water, I got a phone call. I believe he got a phone call too.
I got a phone call while we were out there.
I got a phone call too as well. So basically what it was saying was, hey, take a few questions over the phone, answer the questions, and then they had a date for us to come in for actual questioning.
He says, thank you. Warren says, we are all praying for your family. We appreciate it. Then it gets deeper. Now, right here,
now y'all just heard that they had dates to go there. This is not a criminal investigation whatsoever. And also, like, when you listening to the shorts, you can slow it down, because I sometimes I have to speed them up to, well, every time I'm speeding them up because I'm trying to get all the information in 3 minutes. But you can change the speed to slower.
We appreciate it. Then it gets deeper. Now, right here, she asked Warren what boat he was on, or what boat Nolan was on. Said Nolan went out on the 22 Triton offshore.
Nolan rode out on the Triton.
And I was on the 24 Tide Line.
I rode out there with Bar.
I ain't heard much about the 24 Tide Line. On the way out, we were on separate boats.
10 to 15 or 16 people on my buddy's Tide Line, which is 24 Tide Line.
I went back on the Triton DMR, and the sheriff's office has all this information. Then if you look again, Monday, July 6th, 1:37 p.m., hey, Warren, can you collect any of Nolan's items left at Jack's house?
Did they not expect them to come to the house? Why wouldn't they make sure they had all of Nolan's things at that moment?
And here's Warren again. Good morning, Miss Christine. I just wanted to let you know that my family and I have been praying for you and your family. Nolan was one of my best friends since we were in 8th grade together. You and Mr. Elmore raised one of the best men I've ever met. I wish I could be there today, but I would never want to take the attention off of your family and Nolan and be a distraction. Thank you for being the best parents that Nolan could have had. This was the day of the funeral, that Monday.
So was he checking their temperature? Was he looking for a formal invitation at that moment?
Were they invited to the funeral? Everybody was invited to the funeral.
Now, these are cut off. I want to know the full message up here, because this is where it seemed like it got a little spicy. Up here's Miss Christine. Nolan's mom said exactly where you saw him last. I'm sorry, I'm asking you to repeat this. 3 p.m. West Tip, north side of Horn Island. Where did you guys launch from? He sent the location. And I don't know why this is blurred out. We launched the boats yesterday evening and left from here this morning.
Well, that's blurred out because it give all of their address information. That part of it, where the white was at.
The phone and the keys was at Jack's house.
I'm happy they cleared that up.
So yeah, and then here's this one. Hold on. This is who Javon wrote in on. I'm gonna just call him Javon, even though his page say Javon. Well, I don't know, whichever one play first, since it's acting a fool.
So Javon, who is the best friend of Nolan Wells, left a comment under one of my posts. I want to talk about it here because I am seeing a lot of comments that are like, if Javon was his real friend, he wouldn't have left him. So I think that this honestly adds more context and details as to what happened during the day and Javon's point of view. So the people Nolan was with had 2 boats tied up together. I'm not sure which boat he rode out on. They were both filled up apparently, which is why I went out with a completely different group of people.
And here's that group of people that I mentioned in my live stream that Javon rode out on the 4th of July, allegedly.
18-year-old Nolan vanished during 4th of July celebrations on an island off the coast of Mississippi. His body washed up 2 days later.
There were so many people. I mean, boats, they're like on top of each other almost, like
I mean, it was intense. Lucas Aviz is a college classmate of Nolan at Southwest Mississippi Community College. He says he went to Horn Island with his family and friends on a different boat and ran into Nolan there.
I'd say he's pretty hammered. He would slur his words. His movement was slow.
Wow, now that's the throw off for me. I'm yet to hear Javon say something like that.
Yep, I heard him say they was tied together. Because they were.
But this is one of the passengers in the boat Javon rode out in.
My people's boat was further down on the island. When I last seen Nolan, when I said around 3:40 or 4, can't give an exact time because I didn't have my phone. There was still a big group of people out there. One of my friends got into an altercation.
That altercation, it sounds just like my other friend that got into the altercation on the boat. And they were trying to, like, as he was in the altercation, I was calming him down. They were trying to get him out off the island. They were trying to get him back to land because he was just losing it.
So that's the part where he lost Nolan. Okay, that's the part where we lost Nolan. He goes to help him come back. No, the boat gone, Nolan gone. They packed up pretty quick, and that's just crazy. So too many things happened at 4. Too many.
After the fight, I didn't stay on Horn Island much longer. So the objective, I was really upset. So with you hear me yelling,
and that's something I noticed too. A lot of sniffing. If you pay attention, like that was a big sniff he just did, and Warren do a lot of sniffing too. Just an observation.
With you hear me yelling, my uncle told me to get on the boat and wouldn't let me back off the boat. Obviously, I was really mad and I wanted to fight. So I was on the boat, I'm yelling, and shortly after that, I left the island. I left probably 30 to 45 minutes after I got into a fight. We started to pack up and left because I was so upset. As Javon mentions, that they were ready to get me back to land because I was really mad. I was genuinely really mad.
And I went to check on him for about 15 to 20 minutes. When I came back, the people Nolan were with was gone. I didn't see Nolan then when they were gone. I don't know where he could have been. I don't know. So I head out to the people I came with. Yes, I received my phone later on. If you're wondering, oh, how didn't you see Nolan and you got your phone? Again, they had 2 boats out there with the people he was with. I thought nothing of it. If I didn't see him, I figured he would have just been on the other boat. So please stop trying to make it seem like I was the last one to see him because it sucks. If I was the last one to see him, I promise to God, Nolan would be here with us today. Ugh, I just feel so bad for Javon right now. I commented, I said, Javon, thank you for commenting. I rewatched and I don't think I insinuated you were the last to see him. The reports are all conflicting and I assumed you had left with your group. You seem like an amazing friend and human. I'm so deeply and incredibly sorry that you're going through this. I can assure you I want to bring light to his story and find the truth, be well, and take care of you too. Or Javon replied, he said, no, you didn't. I'm just clearing up on the BS in the comments. Thank you so much. Honestly, this means a lot. I appreciate bringing light to his story because he would have loved this. He's such an amazing person and everyone would have loved him. Thank you.
When, where, how, and who did Javon receive his phone back from? And did he ask about Nolan at that time? Was he aware at that time that they still had Nolan's phone? Even in the comments, let me know what you think. Tap on my picture to get to a full video or live stream.
Yeah, I want to know that. So after I end this live stream, check out the short.
The altercation, it sounds just like my other friend that got into the altercation on the boat. And they were trying to, like, as he was in the altercation, I was calming him down. They were trying to get him out off the island. They were trying to get him back to land because he was just losing it.
After the fight, I didn't stay on Horn Island much longer. So the objective, I was really upset. So with you hear me yelling, my uncle told me to get on the boat and wouldn't let me back off the boat. Obviously, I was really mad and I wanted to fight, wanted to get off. Wasn't smart, man. And so I was on the boat, I'm yelling, and shortly after that, I left the island. I left probably 30 to 45 minutes after I got into a fight. We started to pack up and left because I was so upset. As Javon mentions, that they were ready to get me back to land because I was really mad. I was genuinely really mad.
Describe that. That's kind of interesting. What was that about?
He was just very hostile. Like he was just like really like mad. Like they were trying to, like the parents on that boat were trying to get him out.
Now here's a scene that I've been talking about, and there's the guy in the red shorts, and I believe the guy that is being whisked away could be Warren's brother. And in this footage, you will see a possible parent right here, not letting him on the boat. So when I seen this,
so I don't know, y'all, who this is, but this is what I was thinking. Remember, they described him trying to get off the boat, right? Then we got Nolan needing to be on the boat. But anyway, this fight just kind of reminded me of that, what they just said. So who is this? Who were the people in the water? And why didn't nobody get arrested if all of this stuff was going on? But this is a younger person. I don't know who this person is pushing him away. He beat Red too. This dude trying to get on their boat. The parent didn't want him on there or whatever. Look at that. Hell no, you ain't getting on this boat. Dude trying to who are these people? These are the, and then you'll see a couple more, but this is the one that I initially thought was Warren's brother. And then this is a guy in red shorts. Now he's black, but the one on their boat, it seems to be a white guy, but I know if you run something through AI, it'll change the sex, it'll change the color of the person, all that. So I don't know. Like, make it make sense though. So why would Nolan want to stay in all this chaos?
Right here, not letting him on the boat. So when I seen this and heard that, it clicked. Could this be what they're talking about? The problem is I don't see Tristan or his girlfriend. So who is this kid?
Me and my girlfriend, I wouldn't even call it an argument. She was upset that I lost the lid to her koozie. I dropped it in the water. And I dropped her new koozie in the water. And so she started to let me hear it.
So they want us to believe everything jumped off over a damn koozie.
And basically told me I was paying for it, and she was really upset with me and mad about it, and I needed to kind of sober up a little bit. And so we're walking back, and during that time, this guy that I'm not friends with, I know of him. I don't know him. I didn't even recognize him when I got in an original fight. He had butted himself into my conversation, and basically was telling me how I needed to handle or address the situation with my girlfriend. And man, we weren't even yelling at each other. We weren't arguing. It was more along the lines of, I literally told her, I was like, man, I just want a beer. And she was like, well, go get one, blah, blah, blah. Well, when I said that,
now it's just funny. He was like, we wasn't really arguing. I just said I want a beer. But I remember when he was telling the story about his uncle and how he was gonna help his uncle with people, and people get drunk. He can't depend on other people, but he was the drunk ass out there allegedly. Make it make sense. How was you supposed to be the helper, but you got drunk?
She ducked her in the water, and he had walked up and he told me that I needed to watch how I talk to my girlfriend. And I looked at,
because remember, the girlfriend said he needed to slow down.
And I told him, I was like, this has nothing to do with you. We're good. This has nothing to do with you. And he sat there and he was like, well, I'm going to tell you, I better not hear it again. And I looked at him, I was like, you need to excuse yourself from the situation.
And also remember that Warren said when he went over there to break up his brother, this guy all up in his face. Now, I seen the same guy in the water, y'all. I got another short where I'm saying this guy is in the water. He got on USA shorts and he was looking towards the crowd of those people that we initially thought was Nolan standing in that crowd. Those was younger teenagers. And you hear him saying that Warren's brother is Carter is close to his brother. Right? So that's why I was thinking that might have been his brother and Warren's brother, but I don't know. I can't identify these people. I just know that was a young teenager and a grown-ass man.
And after I came out, he swung.
And yeah, this guy is going to get pulled away by his friends. And we already been.
The first punch. And we went back and forth. I remember at one point in time, I look over and I see my uncle. And my uncle's yelling at me to get in the boat. I stopped fighting. As soon as me and him made eye contact, I got in the boat. I'm sorry.
So see how some of the things that they described, like when Warren was describing going to get his brother, and he was like, by the time I got over there, it was a guy being pulled away, and my brother told me that he hit him, and so he hit him back and then put him in an arm bar. You ain't putting nothing. If that's his brother, he ain't put a damn thing in no arm bar, period.
Was Warren's brother's involvement in this?
So I was getting there. So when I'm on the boat and they're trying to cool me down, I'm trying to get back off the boat. So I see the crowd forming up on the island. Well, my little brother and Carter are like really good friends, like best friends, I would say. He's over at our house all the time. Carter heard him still talking crap as he's getting out of the water, and I'm on the boat, and the situation is like done and over with, right? Well, he sees him talking crap, so Carter gets up and more along the lines of defending me. And for what? He was like, well, if you got a problem with Tristan, we can handle it right here.
So in one case, someone wants to get off the boat, and the younger boy wants to get on the boat. Was it in the water or on the shoreline? Because we have videos of both. The question is, which one involved them? Because they're not featured in any.
And then the other thing is the phone. Like, they claiming that, in the beginning, they saying that somebody was yelling, give me my phone back. And then they never corrected it. Like Tristan didn't say that he didn't say nothing about, he ain't say nothing about the phone. Because when I was trying to hear it, that's not what I heard. Okay. And then Nolan's phone, like it's just a lot of connections. But as far as the phone, and it's things that they saying that look like it could be other scenarios and they just making them theirs. And then this video, I don't know. I don't know about this video, if it was manipulated or not. But clearly you can see something going on in the water. You see this guy standing here in the middle just looking. You see this guy that looked like it could be Warren, and then this will be they roll of boats, and there's somebody rumbling in the water, look like. But then we seen those two guys face to face. But what I'm saying is I don't see their fight. Like, we should have ran across that by now. We at number 3 of seeing rumbles, and we ain't seen them yet.
At least I can't tell. Maybe you can. Do you see them? This is the most recent video claiming it to be from the 4th, and you can see what's going on in the water. So 2 in the water, 1 on the shoreline. And the time is 3:30.
I'm gonna play this one.
Were they invited to the funeral? Everybody was invited to the funeral. Oh, another lie. Another lie. And Jalen and Javon was at the funeral, and Jalen and Javon were pallbearers.
So this is the funeral that we all seen that was televised. Jalen and Javon just walked by. Clearly, they were not pallbearers at this funeral. And what their mom just said confirms that it was 2 funerals. I was scrolling on Facebook and came across a video. And in this video, I did see them carrying a casket. I'm kicking myself now because I didn't get a chance to record it. To be honest, I kind of forgot about it until she just said that.
For those that were saying,
Right. Yeah, because they got on that interview.
The phone, whoever misunderstood, the phone was locked when I got it. However, I could see where everybody had been calling, but the phone was locked. And none of us knew the code, and none of us tried to get in the phone, but the phone was locked, sweetheart.
His mother, Christine, and his father, Elmo, say they haven't gotten any answers. They, have been asked to turn over his cell phone to the Mississippi law enforcement authorities. But even that is troubling to them because they're saying messages that were deleted from his cell phone.
Now, we just heard what Shima said. They were not able to get into his phone to determine if anything was deleted or not. But clearly, they're afraid to hand over the phone. They don't want to lose the only evidence they have in this case.
So let me ask you this. Was the phone and the keys somehow ended back at the same house, right? Because Warren trying to say that when y'all came got the phone, they was at, hey, y'all can't say the names. I can say the name Jack's house. and then I know they went
the phone and the keys was at Jack's house.
I'm happy they cleared that up because very few direct answers came from his ex-friends' interviews.
RP said they were trying to get keys to a vehicle, but the male is refusing to give them to her and her daughter. Dispatch could hear them yelling in the background. RP did say that it's almost physical, but not physical yet. See, that's what I said. Some people they lying in every interview. They should be lying, man.
The phone and the keys were at Jack's house, and we went back because when
all right now
again we went to find the boat, which was somewhere else.
Yeah, BD, what exactly is going on with this call?
The people from the Signal 80 from earlier tonight are harassing these people on the boat. They believe that they have connection to this missing juvenile.
Yeah.
It's going to be related to the Signal 80 report 32 was on earlier tonight.
10-4. John at X-ray 250, John at X-ray 250. It should come back to the missing juvenile. Disregard the missing person.
10-4, return to Elmore 1-3. We would like to make a report regarding threats made to him and his family.
We went back to the house. We met Christine and Elmore there because the car was there too. They were both at the same spot. And she is amazing.
Today, you are 19, No. There are so many things I want to say, but I will keep it simple. As we sit here and reflect on what an amazing kiddo you grew up to be, we can't help but to feel blessed, honored, proud, but most of all, thankful. Thankful we are able to experience a glimpse of God's love in human form. Although you are no longer physically here with us, we will always celebrate you and the legacy you left for us to protect. You have taught us so much about life and how every day is a blessing and how we have to do better at living in this moment. Thank you for being the best son, brother, grandson, nephew, and friend anyone could ever ask for. Thank you for bringing joy, laughter, and real happiness each and every day. You are truly an angel. Raising you has been an absolute joy and honor. You will be missed every second of every day, and you will never be forgotten, our sweet sunshine. Happy heavenly 19th birthday, No. Remember, don't eat too much Oreo cake. Hug grandma for us. We love you, our beloved son and brother. Love, mom, dad, siblings, Louie, Lean, and family.
That's freaking heartbreaking, man. All for nothing. Why is he not here with his family? But y'all see how many shorts I have, though. Go check them out. It's a lot of information in them packed. And like I said, you can slow them down and all that good stuff. But I definitely got to get up out of here fast. Shout out to everybody that's here. And shout out to everybody that supported the channel with your jewels. And shout out to everybody hitting the thumbs up, tuning in, and all that good stuff. Yeah, happy birthday to Nolan. Justice for Nolan Wells. And I'm going to see y'all in the next video. But please go check out those shorts. As a matter of fact, I should have dropped the... I'm going to go ahead and drop the... As a matter of... Well, I don't have time. But just go tap into the channel and... You can, from this live stream, you can tap on my picture to get to the short shelf and just check out all the shorts. And then stay tuned in to them because I post those more than I go live. But I'm going to try to come in here more. Thank y'all all for tuning in. Thank you, BFF. Sarah said, happy birthday. Much love. Not a bot. In a straightforward, logical line, people are emotional and they react on said emotions most of the time. Also, y'all are trying to make sense from drunk teenage actions. This is impossible to do because you are trying to fit a square object into a circle hole. It ain't gonna fit. Exactly. People in general do not act. Sarah's, the boys allegedly had Nolan body. Then they could have used said body to get into the phone. Yep. Absolutely. And I thought about that too. That if he had the finger thing, they could have got in it. If it's facial recognition, they could have got in it. So yeah, I don't know, man. The mom said that something was deleted. And one of the things that I was saying, because I was thinking that maybe she was able to get into the phone, but Shima said that they wasn't. But just say that if she was able to get in it and she sent him messages or snaps or something and that was deleted, then she would know that it was deleted. Or somebody from their end that could say that they called him at a certain time and that's not on his phone. I don't know. I just know that what we been told is not lining up with what we see, and ain't nobody buying it. I mean, I don't believe everything that I'm told, and I definitely don't believe liars. Like, because to me, when people talk confusing, automatically you lying. If I gotta try to make sense of what you saying, it's a lie, in my opinion. So anyway, y'all, thank y'all so much for tuning in to MTGV Crime Podcast. Again, check out my shorts and subscribe to the channel and set all notifications so you know next time I go live. And we will be live again this week because I have a lot more to talk about, because I got things in here I was going to talk about, but we ran out of time. We already 4 hours in. Let y'all go. I'm going to get up out of here. Please be sure to like, share, and subscribe. And I'll see y'all in the next video. Peace and love, y'all. We out. Peace and love, y'all. We out.